I'm going to give myself an echo for a couple moments. Sounds like everything's okay. I hope it keeps working at least. Okay. I guess I'd better fill you in on the details. About this Armstrong guy's secret, I mean. Yes, tell me his secret, please. So, what's Mr. Armstrong's secret? You ever had lunch at Tribulations, pal? Yes. So, how was it? To put it nicely, it was inedible. Hey, don't worry about being nice around me, pal. You and I both know the reason that place is so empty is because of the food. I mean, the place is clean, and he's got a girl like Maggie as a waitress, so... yeah, I guess it's probably the food. The real scoop on the guy is he's up to his ears in debt. Really? How much does he owe? This is a copy of his loan contract. He's about $500,000 in the red. $500,000? Are we talking dollars? Yeah. Hey, if it was sterling, he'd really be in trouble. Sorry, that figure just took me by surprise. Yeah, this case is full of surprises. And I'd be willing to bet that chef's got something to do with most of them. That's my hunch. Tender lender. It's for $500,000, pal. That's, $500,000 bills. What's the in there for? Is there really that much money tied up in this case? I can't give you an answer on that, pal. Not without the case file in front of me. But I'll tell you this. That Armstrong guy would have done anything for cash. He was desperate, you know? No, I don't, but I think I sort of get the picture. Interesting. What do you make of this? Nope. Well, isn't that interesting? Oh, hey. Poor Maya. Looks like Mr. Armstrong's really taken a shine to her. I suppose I'll just have to let her work the restaurant for a while. I'll go pick her up from Tribulations once things have cooled off. So Maya, take a look at this. Aw, come on. You don't got anything to say about that? Come on. Neil says, geez, get on it, Maya. You're still supposed to be our sidekick. Yeah, come on. Yep. Aha, something new. No, guy's not here anymore. Drat. I still have some unanswered questions for him. What's this? A scooter, huh? You'd leave it right in the middle of the park like this. The wheel guard and the light are busted. I guess it must have been in an accident. It's totally wrecked. Check out the lungs on this guy. Hey, what do you think you's doing with my bike? No, I was just... You's been messing with my new ride? Is that what you's been doing? What kind of accent is that? You's gonna pay for this. It wasn't me. I was just passing by. Hey, then who's the one that covered my saddle in crap, huh? You's gonna pay. You catch my drift? No, wait a sec. I'm not a pigeon, so I couldn't have done it. A wise guy, eh? I oughta beat you so hard I'll feel like yous were smooching the express train. Uh-oh. Yous better watch your back. This ain't over. I'm gonna round up a group of lawyers and then yous gonna pay. Actually, I'm a lawyer myself. What'd you say? I'm Phoenix Wright, attorney at law. Phoenix Wright? You saying you Phoenix Wright? Yeah, I am. So you a wise guy too, huh? 'Cause I'm Phoenix Wright, the one and only. Dude, you look nothing like me. What? Out of my way, I gotta cruise. He's gone. Surely that guy wasn't my phony, was he? He wasn't anything like me. Guess I better make a note of the scooter. Pathetic. Oh, it's you. A few threats from a little brat like that, and you look like a pigeon that's got seeds in its eyes. Have you been here the whole time, then? I was in that strawberry. I had some thinking to do. More like you had some cowering to do. Are you a regular at that restaurant, sir? It's just that if you dislike it so much, why would you keep going there? Sir? There you are, you filthy pigeons! You want food? Ha-ha! Take that! I knew it. This old guy's got something to hide. But what could it be? Take that! It's time you told me the truth. Why are you a regular at a restaurant that you dislike so much? Isn't it obvious? People only have one reason to go to restaurants: to eat. To eat? Is that the whole truth? Oh, what do you mean? I don't think you go to that restaurant for the food at all. You insolent brat, how dare you accuse me? What proof have you got? I can tell that not you nor anyone else in the world would go to that place for food. Take that! The proof is in the pudding, or in this case, the lunch menu. That's the twin tea set! The food at Tribulations is terrible and expensive. You're wrong, it's cheap! Huh? I'm rich! I inherited money from when I was a boy. Yes, I'm stinking rich! I haven't done a jot of work since I was born, other than feeding the pigeons. What a load of crock. The taste's another story, but the price, it's nothing to me. So you're saying that you go there because you've got money to burn? Exactly! I have so much cash I go for a swim in my money vault every day! Unfortunately, that's a lie. What? You don't have money to burn, you're flat broke! Take that! This is yours, right? My magazine! Why would a rich retiree be looking for a job? So what? So I was looking for a job. I'm buying a lot at the moment. I need spending money. Oh? I don't go to that restaurant for food. I just go for the Javachino. Yeah, I think you mean a cappuccino. Anyway, how much does a cappuccino cost there? $8. Those had better be some golden beans. What's your problem? You think a poor man would be better off drinking dishwater, do you? Is that it? No, I wasn't thinking that. I was wondering if the coffee there is really that great. No, it's not, but anyway, yes! That place has free newspapers to read every day. Newspapers? Exactly! They don't want me hanging around at home, so I go there. I'm sorry, sir, but there are no free papers to read at Tribulations. It's a newspaper I found behind the magazine rack at Tribulations. So, what of it? This was the only paper there, and it's dated more than 1 month ago. What? Do you see what I'm getting at here? That restaurant doesn't get newspapers. This is just one that a customer happened to leave behind. Tell me, why are you so determined to hide the truth? I'm not hiding anything. I'm gonna have to put this guy out of his misery. Listen, the real reason why you go so much to Tribulations is...
Take that!
What are you asking me about that girl for? She was the waitress at Tribulations. Ah! Therefore, the answer to the mystery of why an old man would drink expensive coffee at a terrible restaurant is the waitress. Ah! But I don't recognize that face. And you are probably telling the truth here. Because you weren't looking at the girl's face, but at her outfit. Gulp. That's the truth, isn't it? You're a dirty old man, aren't you? You became a regular at the restaurant because of the waitress's uniform. That uniform is all you can think about, isn't it? I can't take it. To you, that waitress was your... Enough! Please! No more! Stop saying that word! Stop saying waitress! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Sir? Yes, it's true. I was there for the young girl. Fine, so I'm a dirty, wicked, sinful old devil. Well, at least you admit it. Oh, no, I didn't mean it like that. I could get one of those lousy cups of Javachino every time for $8. All because of the servant girl. Punish me, lock me up. Really, that's not what I'm here for. You'll be the same. Another 20 years and you'll understand what it's like. I doubt that, sir. You'll know how painful it is to be an old man like me. Well, I definitely won't. Neon wants to throw seeds at him. I am all for this plan. I would gladly join in on that. No, really, listen, sir. Stop calling me that. I have a name, you know, boy, so show some respect, I'm Victor Kudo. Sorry, Mr. Kudo. You young ones think you know it all, don't you? Well, I'm not saying another word. I won't tell you anything more. This guy was in the restaurant at the time of the incident, which means I have to hear his testimony one way or another. Huh. I don't believe this. I even broke his psych locks and everything. I guess I'll have to try to get him when he's in a better mood. A better mood now? I doubt it. probably not gonna know jack shit, but yeah, no. That old man. Oh, it's that old man. Is he still feeding the pigeons? I can't remember Maya's voice. He fed me as well. I got a bunch of those seeds in my eyes. Ooh, ouch. Hey, Maya, would you mind coming with me for a while? Huh? Me? Why? There's something I really want to ask that old man. Sure, okay, I'll just get changed. No, hang on. Can you go like that? I guess? Sir? Huh, you again? Wow, I see. Nick, his eyes are burning into me. It's okay, I think it's going pretty well. Ka! Huh? You're still just a little child. Run along and play on the slide, alright? Play on the slide? Ugh, they were so close. Just a little more and he would have spelled. Pigeon, ka. How can we crack this guy? Excuse me, please, sir. Quiet, can't you see I'm feeding the pidge? Mia? Wow. If you don't mind, sir, I'd really love to talk with you. Yes. Of course, certainly. I'm Victor Kudo. Even from beyond the grave, wow. About the incident. You mean the man who died after drinking the Javocino? Looks like he's a different person. It was quite a shock, even for me. He was a strange-looking boy. The girl took the Javocino over to him, you see. And was the customer alone? Definitely! He was the only person at the table. Then he took one sip of his Javocino and he said something like, "Ooh!" and then collapsed, dead. Oh, how terrifying. You're so good at listening, aren't you? I'll tell you anything, whatever you want to know, hee. He certainly seems to be telling the truth now. But it looks like Mr. Kudo didn't see this other man either. Do you like the food at Tribulations? Well, of course, I'm really quite a sophisticated man. I was a young businessman once, you know? I set up a casino in London. Really? How interesting. Eating the food at that restaurant really takes me back to my days in France. What a lovely story. London's in England, not France. Oh, yes, France is wonderful. I'd love to show you around the city sometime. Yeah, it's too much. I can't take it. I want France. I can't believe Mia's laughing at the guy. Ugh. You visit Tribulations a lot, don't you? Of course! I mean, yes! I'd like to come and see you there. Really? Oh, you flatter me so. The owner would be delighted to welcome you, I'm sure. Be careful of that chef, my dear. The chef? You mean Mr. Armstrong? That's right. The man's an ex-con. He's an ex-con? Whatever did Mr. Armstrong do? Oh no, those eyes. I can't take this. He has really got this guy eating out of her hand. He steals things from his customers. From his customers? Gloves, handkerchiefs, little things mainly. He's a pilferer, so you better be careful around him, my dear. Are you sure about this? Of course, he was arrested for it once. I was there when it happened, having my Javocino. He really is a regular. Let me write you a little haiku about it. A haiku? A Japanese poem. It'll explain all you need to know about that chef. Convicted before, a wicked man or woman, repeat offender. If he takes anything again, you let me know. If it's not too expensive, I'll buy you a replacement. Poor guy. He couldn't do enough for Mia. Okay, Phoenix. That's about as much as I can do to help. Thanks, Mia. We got some really important information thanks to you. Honestly, I can't believe Maya called me for something like this. Hey, it worked. I guess it's about time to wrap up today's investigation. Had enough of being a waitress? Yeah, plus no one came to the restaurant. Oh la la, Mademoiselle Maya! No! How can you leave me like this? I'm sorry. That reminds me. Mr. Armstrong had a cyclock or 3, didn't he? I'm going to have to break those. Mr. Armstrong, I hope you won't mind, but I'd like to have another word with you. Volontiers, of course.
Take that!
He's sweating already. What is happening? I do not like this horrible feeling. I have to know the truth. What happened that day? Hello, I will confess everything. Just don't hurt me. Huh? Oh, that was a new world record. It was a lottery ticket. A lottery ticket? Lom who died here had a lottery ticket. For $500,000. Cannot get the accent right. $500,000? Wee! But after... Okay. After l'incident, this ticket... It disappeared. The ticket disappeared? This was la motive. Le motif that the prosecution gave for Maggie. They said that she poisoned the man to get the $500,000 lottery ticket. Why didn't you tell me about this sooner? Mais alors, you've been trying to hide this information about the lottery ticket from me, and I want to know the reason why. No, monsieur, you doubt me? But I have confessed to you everything I know. Mr. Armstrong. The $500,000 lottery ticket. I think I know who took it. I think the winning ticket was stolen by this person.
Take that!
Mr. Armstrong, I believe there's a very high probability that it was you. Ah! Wow, that is one piercing scream, even for a man like him. You sure this guy wasn't a singer at some point? Mais pourquoi moi? Mais pourquoi moi? Why? You have no evidence. I am not Masky Mask. I am not the kind of person who steals the property of others. Sorry to disappoint you, Mr. Armstrong, but I have evidence to the contrary. I present to you proof that you have stolen from others in the past.
Take that!
What is this, a poem? Oh, monsieur, you know me so well. I adore poems. Please read it and put some feeling into it. Convicted before, a wicked man or woman, repeat offender. I'm sorry to have to bring it up, Mr. Armstrong, but you have been arrested for stealing from your customers before, haven't you? Neon says maybe he'd be a better singer than a chef. Yeah, probably. I mean, considering how terrible he is at cooking, I think he'd be better at a lot of things than he is at cooking. Mon Dieu! Le mensonge, you are... There. Yep, no. Le mensonge, you are... I literally just saw it. You are le menteur. You deny it? Do not make it... Do not make les fausses accusations, s'il vous plaît. So, do you have any proof? I want to see... Testable. I want to... For once, it's actually feminine. La preuve incontestable that I have ever stolen from one of my customers. Well?
Take that!
It seems old habits die hard, Mr. Armstrong. What is that? This is my magatama. And I found it in your kitchen. No! Wow, that scream just about broke some windows. Oui. I have a weakness for le petit. God damn it. I'm putting way too much effort into this. I have a weakness for les petits bibelots et figurines. My hand, it just slips out. I cannot stop it. Neon applauds my effort. Thank you. I know enough French to get myself in trouble, and I'm damn well going to use it. You've stolen handkerchiefs, gloves, and other things from your customers, right? Oui, it is la vérité. I am just a timid little girl inside, monsieur. A timid little girl. Besides, this time it was not... Le petit bibelot. Oui, it was $500,000. Mais no. Why would I steal it? I have no need for such money. Really now? Oh, monsieur, what is it? Isn't it true that you're in some pretty serious trouble? And that you are in desperate need of a large amount of cash?
Take that!
This restaurant is deep in the red, isn't it? Ah! You have a loan to the tune of $500,000. That lottery ticket would have wiped out your debts. Well, Mr. Armstrong, what do you have to say for yourself now? Mr. Armstrong, you said that the victim had a winning lottery ticket for $500,000. How did you know he had something like that in the first place? So, no, he was listening to La Radio is his earpiece. Yeah, I think radio is actually feminine. I think said something about that too. Of course. Le numéro gagnant was announced on Les Nouvelles. Yeah, on Les Nouvelles, I think. All of a sudden, he exploded. Yes, $500,000! He shouted. And the ticket? Oui, he had all of his tickets spread out on la table. I was so desperately in need of money, so I put the poison in his coffee. No. Oh, no, you naughty man. I simply helped myself to one of his tickets. What? La victime collapsed and Maggie passed out. I thought to myself, pourquoi pas? He had so many of them. Yeah, but only one of them was a winning ticket, right? How can you do that, Mr. Armstrong? Maggie was arrested because of you. No, this is not true. Come on, my dude. I did not take it. Le ticket for $500,000, I mean. Is it ticket? No, duh. I'm an idiot. Le billet for $500,000, I mean. But you just told us you did. You said you took a ticket. Mais non, ma fille. It was not. That's enough. Huh? Ah! Mr. Godot! What the heck are you doing here? Time for sexy music. Ugh. This is without a doubt the worst coffee I've ever tasted, Mr. Armstrong. You came in here for coffee? Does this craving for coffee know no bounds? Yes, clearly it does not. Perhaps Mr. Armstrong stole one of the victim's tickets on the day in question. I'm la airhead, no? Just a pretty little girl who everyone is laughing at. But in that case, Maggie shouldn't be the only one under suspicion. He had the wrong ticket. What? Mr. Armstrong Mr. Armstrong made off with the winning ticket's pretty neighbor. So the ticket he took was worthless? Not quite. He did win something. $1. You see, I'm just a pretty face. Without my looks, I have nothing. So, what happened to the winning ticket then, the one he meant to steal? Indeed. What did happen to it? I don't like spoiling myself by watching trailers, so we'll just wait and see how the movie turns out tomorrow, won't we? Yeah. Voila, you two! Time to laugh at the pretty... at the... Neon wonders if there will be popcorn at tomorrow's movie. I'm sure someone will bring popcorn. Of course, odds are they'll probably be throwing it at us instead. According to Google Translate, the pretty little airhead is la jolie petite tête de pont. Looks like I won't be needing this note anymore. Victor's note thrown into the trash. Neon says that even if it's thrown at us, the popcorn will be tasty and they'll accept it. Looks like we've got a new mystery now, namely, where did the winning ticket go? I've got a bad feeling about this. Well, anyway. Can't let Maggie suffer any longer for this, and certainly not again. To be continued. Yes, save. Oh, I see. I guess I should have expected this. Nobody saw the other guy, huh? He was there when I took the coffee over, sir. Scout's honor. Maggie! Detective Gumshoe! Are you doing alright? How are you feeling? As if you need to ask either question, sir. Don't let him get you down, Maggie, and don't forget to eat well, okay? Roger! And you! Yes? You better square this case away, got it, pal? Maggie's innocent, you hear? If you screw up, then I'll be doing some squaring away myself. Squaring away some paperwork for your arrest. I think he's serious. Hey, detective, you're on our side for once, right? Yep. So you'll be able to help Maggie out, right? Really? Can you, sir? Of course, I've got the situation under control. I'm gonna be the first witness on the stand today. If something I say doesn't mesh with the facts, make sure you point it out, alright? Sure. Okay, we're forming a united front today, pal, you get me? I can't tell you how grateful I am, sir. I've always admired you so much, detective. I know I can count on you. Looks like it should all go pretty smoothly today, huh? Don't say that, you're gonna jinx it. I can only wish. Yeah, exactly. Court is now in session for the trial of Maggie Bird. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Ah, bitter. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? Ah! What's wrong? Nothing, it's just whenever I addressed you in the previous trial, your response was, "You was talking to me?" It was a little, well, intimidating. No, that wasn't me. That was the phony Phoenix. I see, so our trusty Phoenix Wright is back with us now, is he? Our trusty? So, Mr. Godot, your opening statement, please. Mr. Wright, whether you are a fake or the real deal, we will find out soon enough through this trial today. But I can already tell you I'm the real Phoenix Wright. I wasn't questioning whether you are Phoenix Wright or not. I was questioning whether you had studied law or not. That's what I intend to find out. And there's no denying it. Behind that mask is a man who really hates me for some reason or another. Wonder why? As everyone is aware, the court has already given its verdict on this case once. Therefore, I won't stand for irrelevant testimony during this retrial. Nor will I stand for a simple repetition of the evidence presented in the last trial. I'm not planning on repeating anything that phony me said, trust me. Now then, Mr. Godot, please summon your first witness. Let's start with the formalities, shall we? Name and occupation. Witness, state your name for the court. Huh? Oh, sorry, sir. The name's Police Department Detective. Occupation Dick Gumshoe. Off to a great start, Gumshoe. Other way around, Detective. Huh? Oh, sorry. Neon gives it an A+. Anyway, I'm the officer in charge of this case since yesterday, sir. Since yesterday? Yeah, the guy who was on the initial investigation's tied up with another case now. I hope Gumshoe's really got everything under control for everyone's sake. I see. So, Detective Gumshoe, would you outline for the court the basic facts of the case? Yes, sir. The victim's name was Glenn Elg. He was a professional programmer. He was on the payroll of Blue Screens, Inc., a local company. This is the victim's autopsy report. The court accepts this into evidence. Died of potassium cyanide poisoning. Time of death was between 1:30 and 2:30 p.m. And here are the floor plans of the restaurant. When the incident took place, the victim was sitting right here. The poisoned coffee was brought over to him by the waitress. The waitress being the accused. Yeah. The victim died from poisoning almost immediately after he took a sip of the coffee. At the time of the incident, there were 2 other people in the restaurant. Mr. Gene Armstrong, the owner and chef, and a regular by the name of Mr. Victor Kudo. It still seems to be a very straightforward case to me. Come, detective, take up this hammer and nail the defendant's coffin shut with your own 2 hands. Let's not. Now then, Detective Gumshoe, let's have your testimony. Yes, sir. When the incident took place, the victim was alone at his table, sir. We understand that the guy, Glenn Elg, was listening to the radio at the time. Traces of poison were found in his coffee cup, and what we found was potassium cyanide. That stuff really packs a punch. And, yeah, it looks like Ms. Bird might have had, well, some kind of a motive. Using the dark, aromatic depths of coffee to conceal the poison. Classy lady. The facts of this case seem to be ironclad. Mr. Wright, I would ask you to begin your cross-examination, but... Yes? Please, no intimidation tricks this time around, is that understood? I already told you that wasn't me. The only thing we have in common is the hair.
Hold it!
Can I stop you for just a minute? Oh, what is it? Did I say something that contradicts the evidence? He's so desperate for that to be true, he's practically crying. Your testimony just now doesn't match the testimony given by Miss Bird. She claims that there was another man at the victim's table. Yeah, that's what she said, and I...
Objection!
What killer wouldn't say that when faced with a homicide conviction? Most killers? Because they don't want to create the implication that there's another witness? Hey! Sadly, her testimony isn't supported by the owner or the other customer. Isn't that right, Detective Gumshoe? Yeah, it's true. Their 2 testimonies tie up on that. They both said there was no other guy at the table. What should I do? Should I press on this point a little harder or not? Well, maybe the other witnesses just missed him. Perhaps their view of the victim's table is obscured in some way. Ha! That argument is as weak as the coffee at Tribulations trite. I have here in my possession a ticket. A ticket? Looks more like a photo to me. Yes, a one-way ticket to Guiltyville. Population the defendant. This is a photograph taken from near the entrance to the kitchen. This is the scene as witnessed by the chef moments after the poisoning took place. Whoops. This is the scene as witnessed by the chef moments after the poisoning took place, correct? I think the court will agree that with such a clear view of the scene of the crime. How, Mr. Wright, could anyone have overlooked a second person at the table? Irk. I mean, he could always be lying. It certainly seems to show the victim's table extremely clearly. It might have been clear from the, kitchen, but again, he could be lying, and also, you know, where was the other witness sitting? Was his view of the, was his view unobstructed? Radio at the time. He was listening to his radio, you say? Yeah, he had a portable radio in his chest pocket. Maggie told us that too, didn't she? Something about how one of them had some sort of earpiece. What should I do? Should I press on this point a little harder or not? Yeah, it's worth it. And what was it that the victim was listening to on the radio, Detective Gumshoe? Huh? How should I know? Thanks a lot. We're now one step closer to the middle of nowhere. This isn't going very well, is it? Detective, could you perhaps tell us about the poison and how it was used?
Hold it!
So, traces of the poison were found in the coffee cup and nowhere else? Not sure I get you, pal. Was the poison a liquid or was it a powder? If I had to put it in layman's terms, I'd say it was a powdery substance. So the poison could have been in anything that was on the table. Sugar, salt, pepper.
Objection!
Ha. Do you put salt and pepper in your coffee, Trite? It was just an example. The victim took his coffee black with no sugar. Ugh. It seems that the poison could only have been in the coffee. What should I do? Should I press on this point a little harder or not? I mean, I don't see any harm in it. Are you absolutely certain that the victim even drank any of his coffee? Oh, what do you mean? According to this file, the poison was found in the victim's coffee cup. What proof is there that the victim ever drank any of it? Oh, hey, you're right. That's what I was thinking.
Objection!
Was there caffeine in his system? Actually, wait, no, would it have had time? In case you were wondering, that last objection was for the detective there. Huh? For me? Oh, hey, you're right. You may be fooling the court, but I'm not falling for it. If you have the time to waste, you have the time to present that piece of evidence. That piece, sir? Yes, that piece. What piece was it again? This. Could you stop throwing your coffee at me? Should I be grateful this coffee's only hot enough to give me first-degree burns? Oh, now I remember. This is the victim's coffee cup. Yes, the victim's cup. Take a good look at the rim. Oh, yes, it's unmistakable. There is clearly a coffee stain on it. Conclusive proof that the victim did drink the poisoned coffee that was in this cup. The victim gulped down the bitter death the waitress brought to him. Like this. Ugh! I don't think he was gulping it down quite that enthusiastically. For the record, the only prints of the cup were the victims and the defendants. Upon further investigation of this cup, we found a certain chemical substance. And what we found was potassium cyanide. That stuff really packs a punch.
Hold it!
Potassium cyanide? I've heard of that chemical before. Exactly how strong is this poison, Detective Gumshoe? It's, well, that stuff's lethal. You eat too much in your history. How much is too much? What's a lethal dose? A lethal dose is 0.2 grams. That's about enough to finish anyone off. 0.2 grams? How much is that? You know when you swab your ears for earwax? Yeah, about that much. Earwax, huh? Sounds like something Gumshoe's got an abundance of. Such a small quantity of poison could have been concealed anywhere. And, it looks like Miss Bird might have had, well, some kind of a motive.
Hold it!
Some kind of a motive? Yeah, but if you ask me, it's been blown way out of proportion.
Objection!
You know what my golden rule is, Detective? Chuck out a bad cup of coffee. You can always get another. Huh? I don't get it. I'm saying we can always get another witness on the stand if we have to chuck you out. Don't chuck Gumshoe, please. Gulp. So stick to the facts, Detective. Now then, what was Ms. Bird's motive? Come on, Gumshoe. They said she wanted to steal a lottery ticket. I knew it. That's what we heard yesterday, too. It disappeared from the scene of the crime. And it wasn't just any lottery ticket. It was a winning ticket for $500,000. Mr. Armstrong knew about the ticket, too, didn't he? But he stole the wrong one. Then, is it possible Maggie stole the winning one? What should I do? Should I press on this point a little harder or not? Yes, press harder. Wait a minute. The mere fact that the lottery ticket disappeared in no way implicates my client. Ha. I have here in my hand the very ticket in question. That's the $500,000 lottery ticket? One of the female police officers found it when she was conducting a search of the defendant. What? Order, order! Ha! She's quite a lucky bird, our little waitress. You will submit that ticket as evidence to the court immediately. I better keep an eye on that ticket. The way the judge's voice is quivering. Don't Don't you steal it, sir. This ticket was presented to the court in the previous trial, too. But it feels heavier now somehow. $500,000, you say? It's just a scrap of paper. What matters is where it was found, Your Honor. And that's on Maggie's person, unfortunately. Someone could easily have planted it on her because she was unconscious. That's enough. The facts of this case seem overwhelmingly clear to me. The defendant had ample opportunity to commit the crime of which she is charged. Furthermore, it seems beyond reasonable doubt that she did indeed commit this crime. I like an old man who knows the score. There is also the matter of the $500,000 lottery ticket. That alone provides a very credible motive. I mean, for that sum of money, even I might be tempted to bend the rules. Bend the rules? I don't mind an old man who is weak to the siren call of money. Not good, Nick. The evidence against Maggie is starting to pile up fast. Yeah, that's because the court has ruled guilty once already. I'd say it's about time to wrap up this repeat performance. With one final decisive piece of evidence. It's got more evidence against Maggie? This is the apron the delightful Miss Bird was wearing at the time. Wow, that's not the cleanest apron I've seen. That stain looks like... can't be blood, can it? Ha! It seems the star of our play was a little flustered. And somehow spilled coffee on herself. The coffee? That's not exactly the first thing that caught my eye. Of course, coffee stain isn't the most interesting thing about this apron. No, there's something else that stands out even more. Something else? I presume you mean. Of course, I'm referring to the pocket. The pocket? A search carried out right after the incident uncovered this. Potassium cyanide. The very poison used by the killer was in her apron pocket. A bottle of poison in Maggie's pocket? Yeah, and Maggie's prints were the only ones on it. What? Order, order, order! The court will accept these items into evidence. There's something still bothering me, Mr. Godot. Why have you not explained the blood stain to the court? Bloodstain? What bloodstain would that be? Don't play games, prosecutor. The blood-colored stain that's smeared all over the apron. That's ridiculous. No one told me anything about a blood stain. You don't need to be told. Just look at it. Well, detective, could this stain really be blood? No way, sir. It's just ketchup, sir. Ketchup? She must have gotten some on her apron while taking some on their breakfast that day. You could have spoken up a little sooner, Detective Gumshoe. Pull a stunt like that again, and I'll have you drink 17 cups of ketchup, witness. Ugh. You? I thought everyone knew what it was already. Gumshoe. I haven't seen anything yet to make me doubt the last ruling I made on this case. The motive, the opportunity, and the supporting evidence have all been clearly established. Well, Wright, it seems you really are a phony after all. Ah, you really know how to drive a man nuts. Witness, please continue with your testimony. Describe for the court the crime scene and the findings of your investigation there. The crime is reported at 2:25 p.m. by a kind of scary old man, sir. Poor Maggie had passed out from the shock. It must have been real tough for her. The victim didn't have any identification on him, but we figured out who he was pretty quick, and then the investigation went smoothly. When Maggie was searched, we found the lottery ticket and the bottle of poison. And that was it. There was nothing else missing from the crime scene. You identified the victim and secured your prime suspect. Very good. Last chance to convince the court you're a real lawyer, Trite. Don't count on any more cross-examinations after this one, so let the fun begin. You know what? I'm going to save Because now I'm worried.
Hold it!
Scary old man, Detective Gumshoe. There's an old man who's a regular at the restaurant where the incident happened. We're obviously talking about the same old man. Officers were dispatched right after the report came in, but the old guy still made a fuss. What took you so long? Then he hurled abuse at them. And seeds. Seeds. Ha! It was nothing. I caught each one with my teeth. Show off! I guess not even the mighty good dough can avoid being attacked by that guy. The old man was the only other customer in the place at the time. He took his time finding a payphone apparently, so he was late reporting the crime.
Hold it!
How long was the defendant unconscious for? The officers got to the crime scene at around 2:40. Maggie was still out cold in the kitchen at that time. Out cold in the kitchen. Okay, that's automatically making me suspicious. Like, where did she pass out initially? Did she pass out in the main area? And if she did pass out in the main area, that means someone carried her into the kitchen. Or was she in the kitchen, saw the guy fucking keel over and passed the fuck out? Because I kind of feel like she probably would have. I feel like it would make more sense if Maggie was actually in the room when he passed out, because then she would have had a better view of things and would have more readily been able to go like, oh fuck, he just died. I just watched someone die in front of me. It took another 10 minutes or so before she came to. I would have liked to have been on the scene myself. I bet you would have liked to have carried out the search too. I would have loved to see Maggie asleep like that, all pretty and peaceful. Gumshoe, please! You're a professional detective, Gumshoe, not a professional bird watcher. Save the romantics for your own time, detective. That's not romantic, that's creepy! All we need to know about is the investigation. Oops, I guess I'm pretty red right now, aren't I?
Hold it!
You didn't have any? Are you saying that it was stolen then? Nah, I don't think so. The victim didn't have a driver's license or even a credit card on him, pal. All he had was 58 cents in his wallet. 58 cents? Yeah, I can't believe I found someone with less in their wallet than me, pal. The victim sounds like he was a thoroughly miserable young man. Or some kind of outlaw. Why not give him a bit of an edge? I think I'm onto something here.
Hold it!
Wait a sec. Huh? Did I say something dumb again? Let me paraphrase what you just testified to this court. The victim didn't have any form of ID on him. That's basically what you said, yes? Yeah, basically. In that case, how were you able to identify the victim so quickly? Oh, that. He's so let down. He's got the whole sagging shoulders and puppy eyes thing going. There was a prescription bag on the victim's table along with the lottery ticket. It seems Mr. Glenn Elg visited his doctor before he went to Tribulations. We got the victim's name from the medical records of the doc who prescribed the meds. That's a reliable enough source for the court. What should I do? Should I leave this alone or ask to hear more? Let's ask about it. So, what sort of medicine was in the bag? Well, actually, the bag we found was empty. Huh? Yeah, completely empty. It was completely empty? Huh. Ha. You're entering an empty paper bag as evidence? Just desperate, are you, Trite? Huh? Now, what happened with the investigation after that, detective?
Hold it!
But But the defendant had been passed out for a while, correct? In that case, is it possible someone planted the evidence in Maggie's pocket? Exactly! Hey, yeah, you've nailed it, pal. It happens to me all the time. Gumshoe. We had a department party the other day, and when I got home, I was wearing the boss's shoes.
Objection!
Keep up this crazy testimony, detective, and those shoes will end up down your throat. Sorry. So, Trite, someone planted the evidence in Maggie's pocket. That's a pretty bold statement. Care to back it up with some evidence? Well, I'd love to if I had any. It appears you have no evidence to support your theory, Mr. Wright. Continue with your testimony, witness.
Hold it!
So the $500,000 lottery ticket and the bottle of poison were accounted for. Yeah. Interesting. It's true that those two items are accounted for, but wasn't there another lottery ticket that was stolen that day? Oh, yeah, the one the restaurant owner took. He won a whole $1 with it. What a lucky guy, huh? And they're just going to let him get away with it? It was just $1, detective. I guess no one cares when it's that little, except for Gumshoe. If I don't find a hole in this testimony, the judge is going to hand down his verdict. Gumshoe isn't giving us anything to work with. We can't find any contradictions if he doesn't give us something. Yeah, that's true. But Maggie and Gumshoe are like Dumb and Dumber. Our only hope is that they were so dumb they missed something obvious. Come on, Gumshoe, be the dumbest you've ever been. Neon says, poor Gumshoe. Yeah, seriously. This is going to help or not, but... Detective Gumshoe, I think I should point something out to you. There is just one small contradiction in your testimony. Oh-ho, finally! I'm getting all anxious just waiting, so hurry up, will ya? You testified that nothing else was missing from the crime scene. However, the prescription bag you mentioned was empty. Did the officers recover the medicine from the scene of the crime later? No, they didn't. The victim was given a prescription right before going to Tribulations. Where, then, did the medicine disappear to? You are too cool, pal. Indeed. Due consideration wasn't given to the victim's prescription in the previous trial. Witness, why do you always overlook such vital pieces of evidence? I guess that's the most careless thing I've done so far, huh? The victim was killed by poison, and the victim's medicine mysteriously disappeared. The victim's own prescription could have been the lethal poison itself. Order! Well, Mr. Godot, what do you have to say to that? Ha, that's all. What? Read for the court the name of the clinic on the prescription bag, if you will. What's the clinic's name got to do with anything? New Ear Otolaryngological Clinic. Otolaryngological? Just what kind of illness was the victim suffering from, Mr. Godot? Hardly an illness, Your Honor. More like a bitter war wound, you could say. A war wound? The day before the incident, Mr. Elg found himself in a fight. He took a blow to the side of the head and ruptured his eardrum. He ruptured his eardrum? Then what on earth was the prescription he was given? It was a cream that was to be applied topically inside his ear canal, not to be ingested. I mean, you know, if even if it's applied topically, then that's still going to be absorbed into his body. Like, how do you think a topical gel works? It's mentioned in the autopsy report if you read the fine print. They found traces of the medication in the victim's left ear. Yes, here it is, in very, very fine print. It seems Mr. L correctly applied some of his medication while he was at Tribulations. Therefore, it would be absurd to believe that he would have eaten his medication. But he should still have it in the bag. Like, I doubt that it was a one-time medication here. There should still be more for him to apply later on. It seems that this medication is irrelevant to the case after all. Yeah. His left ear, Neon points out. Yeah, interesting, isn't that? No. Nick, if you don't think of something quick, it'll all be over. She's right. I can't get away with any old weak objection. What should I do? Only moments ago, Mr. Godot made the following statement. It seems Mr. L correctly applied some of his medication while he was at Tribulations. If that's the case, then why was the medication not found at the scene of the crime? Exactly! Where is it? But the medication in question was for topical use inside the ear canal. That doesn't change the fact that it could not be found at the crime scene. There's something missing. However insignificant it may seem, it's a lawyer's duty to pursue the truth.
Objection!
You know as well as I do that the medication is irrelevant. It hardly seems likely that a prescription drug would contain potassium cyanide. But why is it missing? It hardly seems likely that the coffee the waitress served would contain it either. But it did. The possibility is undeniable. Arg. That's enough. Mr. Godot, is the detective the only witness the prosecution wishes to call? Mr. Godot? I've got my own witness I'd like to call, sir. It's the old man who was there in the restaurant on the day of the murder. Victor Kudo, the pigeon hater? Very well. The matter of the disappearing medication seems little more than trivial at best. I mean, it's still a pretty significant oversight in the part of the police department, though. However, it wasn't explored at all in the previous trial, yes. And that is something that bothers me. Yay! Good job, Nick! The court will adjourn for a 10-minute recess, after which we'll hear the prosecution's next witness. Ha. I suppose this means I'll just have to finish you off in my last 6 cups. Court is adjourned for recess. Does that mean he's down to 11 cups in, like, an hour? Yeah, in an hour. How fast do you go through coffee cups, my dude? Phew, that was close. Tell me about it. I nearly died in there. That's my line, sir. No, it's my line. I think I really did die a little bit. Looks like we all nearly died in there. I can't believe Detective Gumshoe. How can he betray us like that? Huh? He said he'd help me, but he totally set me up. I don't think he meant to do that, Maggie. He was backed into a corner. I mean, the guy's got to do his job, right? It's okay. I know all about lies and betrayal. I've had them my whole life. But it really hurt this time. It felt like someone punched me hard in the stomach. I hate that guy. I don't ever want to see him again. Poor Gumshoe. So the next witness is going to be that old guy from the park, right? Yeah, Mr. Kudo, lover of waitress outfits and projectile seeds. I bet he's gonna be real stubborn. I mean, he's pretty set in his ways, you know? Yeah, he's a big old grouch. Are you going to be able to handle him, Nick? Yeah, I can take whatever he throws at me, even those never-ending bird seeds. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Maggie Bird. Mr. Godot, your next witness, please. The prosecution calls the lucky old-timer who caught the show over a cup of coffee. Will the witness please take the stand? Name and occupation, if you don't mind. Neon says, you sure you don't want to call Mia in again, just in case? Yeah, she might make him a little bit more cooperative. The name is Victor Kudo, born and bred in the land of the rising sun. Honor and duty are what make me. Mind you, I can be quite emotional at times, too. You don't need to hear about that, Mr. Kudo. Just tell the court your occupation. My occupation? Listen, young'un. How much do you think there is for kimono? How much call do you think there is for kimono embroidery here? Kimono embroidery? That's what I do, or did, back in Japan. I embroidered family crests on kimonos. That actually sounds kind of cool. My ancestors were embroidering kimonos before this country even existed. To be fair, that's probably true. Wow, a real craftsman. They're a dying breed. Hey, maybe you could embroider my costume sometime. Anyway, like I said, there's not much demand for that kind of thing here. So I had to take a job working the cash register at a burger joint, pretending to smile. That burger joint would have been better off putting him in the kitchen. Now then, witness, were you in the restaurant at the time of the incident? Oh yes, I was eating some seeds over a cup of Javachino. Why were you eating seeds? Seeds? What do you think these are, I see. So you saw everything that happened, Gramps. Did I? Oh yes, I did. I saw it all. Got a little bit southern there. Then please tell the court we're all ears. Sure. I'll tell you every last detail. He's really getting into this. The young man was reading the sports paper. The servant girl brought him a Javachino, but she put something in it. The man took one sip of it and looked like he was in terrible pain and then collapsed. Neon says he even throws seeds at himself. That's dedication. Yeah, you gotta give him points for that. That's the servant girl right there in the defendant's chair. I remember her well. Mr. Kudo, she is not a serving girl. Please refer to her as a waitress. You're as bad as the rest of them. All these newfangled words. What's wrong with old-fashioned ones, I'm pretty sure a waitress and a serving girl are two entirely different things anyway. Newfangled? All this talk of radios and glasses, it's wireless and spectacles, I tell ya. Excuse me. Listen to me, everyone. Don't forget the old values. Don't let the good old days slip away. Well, I think it's time to begin the cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor.
Hold it!
So you saw the victim then? You saw Mr. Glenn Elg. I wanted to know if Guts and Brawn retained his championship or not. So he was looking at the sports paper the victim was reading, huh? And at the location in question, there are partitions between tables on the same side of the restaurant, right? So what if there are? If you say that you could see the victim, that means you were sitting at a table on the other side of the restaurant, correct? Neon wonders, could he have seen a girl, not necessarily Maggie? Yeah, that's a good question. I go to that place to drink Javachino. I don't go to sit. I don't remember which table I was sitting at. You mean you go there to eye the waitress?
Hold it!
Mr. Kudo, that is a very grave accusation. Are you sure about what you saw? Victor Kudo never makes mistakes. I dot every T and cross every I. I see. My eyesight's fine. The doctor said I only need spectacles for reading and driving. I'm pretty sure that means you need spectacles all the time, because one of those one of those things would fall under farsightedness, and the other one falls under nearsightedness. I bet his eyes are only really fine when he's scoping out a waitress. And I saw what the serving girl put into the Javachino as well. I bet I know what's coming up, and something tells me I'm not going to like it. Let's go for it anyway. Your Honor, We need more clarification on what was put into the victim's coffee. I'd like to ask that the witness add what he knows about this to his testimony. I agree. Witness, will you enlighten us, please? Sure. There's no question about it. She very conspicuously put some white powder in there. Did she really put that into the coffee? You doubt me, boy? She took some out of a small brown bottle and sprinkled it in. Could she have been adding sugar? Sugar in a small brown bottle like that? Like that? Witness, could you please describe the bottle in more concrete terms? Ha. A bottle like this, perhaps? Oh, there it is! That's the one! That's the bottle of potassium cyanide, I presume. So what did the accused put into the coffee? I think it's clear, don't you? Arg.
Hold it!
You took just one sip? You young'uns, you waste everything. Those Javachinos cost $8. In the good old days, we would have drank every last drop, eaten the cup, and then died. That statement's so full of wrongability and ersatz, I don't know where to begin. Congratulations, you have earned the title of battiest man to grace a courtroom. So it was an immediate death. Well, with potassium cyanide, I suppose that is possible. Can we get an expert in to tell us whether that's possible or not? Oh yes, he slumped over without so much as a twitch. I felt the Javachino I just drank turn sour in my stomach. Oh yes, I know that feeling. And the waitress, I presume she is...
Hold it!
You said, I remember her well in reference to the waitress. Neon says, and there was a lot of competition for that title. Yeah, there's been a whole lot of competition for that title. Battiest witness to grace the stand. Does she have any particular features that you can identify her by? Particular features? It's a disgrace, that's what it is. Sorry? You can see all the way up to her... You know! She's practically naked in that uniform.
Objection!
So the particular feature you recognize about the waitress is her outfit? But anyone can wear such a uniform, just such a uniform, even me. And you'd look very good in it. Mr. Wright, please spare the court of any further mental anguish from that image. Oh, come on, he'd rock it. Don't get all excited, Nick. You've got to keep yourself together. I guess I got a bit carried away. Ha! There are other things I recognize about her, too. Seems pretty sure of himself. What should I do? Press harder. Sure, you saw a waitress take the coffee over to the victim. But what matters is whether that waitress is Maggie Bird or not. Quite right. Mr. Kudo, these other features that you recognize about the defendant. I would ask you to add them to your testimony. Sure. There was a ribbon in her hair and her apron straps were loose. That's it? That's all you got?
Hold it!
You do seem to remember several details about her appearance, but what about the most crucial detail of all? Her face. Ha! As if I wouldn't remember that. Oop.
Objection!
The witness noticed the straps on the accused's apron. He's unlikely to make a mistake about her face. That's right! I can even tell you the color of the ribbon in her hair. It was red! So you see, there's nothing wrong with the witness's eyesight. There's no doubt he remembers the waitress pretty well. What should I do? I get the feeling there's something more to this somehow. The identifying features you described are all things you would see from the back. So what? Is it possible that you never saw the waitress from the front at all?
Objection!
Ha! He's got you there, Gramps. People normally talk about facial features when they're asked to describe someone. But this witness's testimony is nothing but straps and ribbons. This is harassment. I tell you I'm not obsessed with straps or ribbons. I'm just telling you what I saw. Mr. Kudo, the court requests that you add details about any identifying features. Features you observe from the front, that is, to your testimony. Sure. This old man's testimony is getting longer and longer. If I can't find a hole in it soon, it'll get even longer, I bet. There wasn't anything that caught my interest about her when I saw her from the front. You didn't find anything to be distinct, but you did clearly see the witness's face, yes? No question about it. I didn't come this far to back down now. Victor Kudo never backs down. That's not the answer I was looking for, but okay. This has turned into a matter of pride for old Seedy now, I guess. I wonder if he really did see Maggie's face or not. Like I thought, we need some concrete proof of this. Proof that the old guy didn't see the waitress clearly from the front. You think old Seedy really saw Maggie do it? Well, he probably had his eye on the waitress the whole time. That's why he was there. But he was there for the cute outfits, right? Not the waitress. I guess. She makes a good point, though. Hey, did I just say something clever? I wonder if the waitress Mr. Kudo saw really was Maggie. That's what we have to figure out, Nick. There's a ribbon in her hair and her apron straps were loose. There wasn't anything that caught my interest about her when I saw her from the front. Really? Because there sure should have been.
Objection!
Mr. Kudo, I would like you to please take a look at this. God, that filthy thing would suit filth like you just perfectly. Actually, it reminds me of what my grandson looks like just after he's done eating. Have you ever seen this before? Of course I haven't. Do you think I'd forget something as dirty as that, Well, you half-witted clot! Oh, what? What is it? Ever since I said you half-witted clot, there's been an eerie silence in here. Mr. Kudo, this apron is the apron worn by the defendant on the day of the poisoning. Huh? And as you just said yourself, you wouldn't forget something like this. Which means, if you had really seen this apron before, yes, you know what I'm getting at. You couldn't have possibly seen the waitress from the front. Oops. Witness! You can't just oops your way out of this. Huh. Well. Looks like we finally have a genuine trial on our hands. Listen, Trite, here are the facts. On the day of the incident, there was only one waitress in the restaurant. That being the defendant, Miss Maggie Bird. Exactly. And when that one waitress put the poison into the coffee cup, this old guy was watching. I hope you understand the gravity of the situation, Mr. Kudo. The fate of the defendant may rest on what you say you remember seeing. Just tell the court exactly what you saw, Gramps. You can rely on me, Captain. My noggin's in perfect working order. I can't remember a single occasion when I forgot what burger a customer wanted. You can't remember? Probably more like he messed up so many times he's blocking it out. Very well, let's test just how good Let's test how good you are at speaking. Very well, let's test just how good your memory and attention to detail is, Mr. Kudo. Tell us what you remember about the victim. He was another of those pesky young types, wearing a broken pair of spectacles. He had a newspaper in his right hand, and the noisy brat kept rustling its pages. The young man was listening to the wireless. I remember that well. Then the servant girl in question brought over the Javachino. The little fidget picked up the cup with his free hand and took a sip. The testimony we have just heard was to test how credible the witness's memory is. It seems to me that he remembers the victim in a great deal of detail. Oh yes, I hate those you-know-what types who are so vague about everything. How are we going to handle this, Nick? We only need to do one thing. We just need to prove that the old man's memory is shot. Or just unreliable. Just strip him up, you mean? Isn't that kind of cruel? I suppose, but it's what I do best.
Hold it!
Spectacles? Dark glasses to you. One of the lenses was green, but the other was broken. Newfangled rubbish. That's why I remember him so well. He did have some kind of lens over his left eye, but I wouldn't have called it a pair of glasses. He seems to have been wearing some rather modern-looking shades. He looks like he was wearing a scouter from Dragon Ball. Perhaps I should take to wearing some and rival Mr. Godot's sharp appearance. We better come up with something sharp and quick. Guess I'll wait and see if I should challenge him about the spectacles.
Hold it!
The newspaper was a sports paper, was it? That young hooligan, I nearly asked him, can't you even read without fidgeting, How was I supposed to be able to read the back page with all that rustling going on? I needed to find out if Guts and Brawn retained his championship title. You said that before. It was his paper, not yours. If you wanted to know so bad, why didn't you buy your own? What are you looking at me like that for? How dare you judge me? Ow! Ow! Guts and Brawn got beaten yesterday, by the way. Anyway. The young man was listening to the wireless. I remember that well. The wireless? The decadent young rascal. In my day, it was one or the other. Read the paper or listen to the wireless. Oh, boy. I'm using an earpiece. It's selfish, that's what it is. I was straining my ears, but I couldn't catch any of it. Was he that desperate to listen to the radio? What are you looking at me like that for? Ow! Ow!
Hold it!
You mean the waitress who you only saw from behind, right? You're one of those, aren't you? You never let anything go, isn't that right? Maybe. I mean, it's my job. What does it matter if I saw her from the front or from behind? My eyes don't lie. Ow! Ow! I better not push it until I've got some hard evidence.
Hold it!
His free hand? Yes. Which hand was that? Weren't you listening before, cloth ears? I said he was wrestling the newspaper with his right hand, didn't I? His free hand wasn't his right hand, then which hand was it, you moron? Ow! Ow! Ha. Well, at least Godot's having fun here. Perhaps the great Mr. Trite has 3 hands. Yeesh, I was only asking. No need to gang up on me and treat me like a freak. The whole point of this cross-examination is to establish just one thing. That this old guy's memory is more holes than a slice of Swiss. Holy shit, that guy was just pounding the seeds. I guess we just need to find a contradiction in his testimony somewhere, huh? Anything will do, even the smallest detail. We just need one mistake and he's ours.
Hold it! Objection! Objection! Hold it!
Did I present this? Can't remember if I presented this on this thing. I see the logic here now.
Objection!
He wants me to present this. Mr. Kudo, do you remember what you were told at the start of this testimony? That this was a way of testing the credibility of your memory? I know. There's nothing wrong with my memory, I tell you, nothing. If I got anything wrong, I'll eat these seeds and sing the pigeon song. Care to tell us where this is going, trite? According to Mr. Kudo, the victim was holding the paper in his right hand, while drinking coffee with his free hand, which would make that his left. Cop, what is this, kindergarten? But I would like the court to please take a look at this. That's the cup the victim used, correct? Yes, and on the rim, you'll notice the mark left by the victim's lips. Yes, there is a stain left by the coffee. If you consider where that stain is, you'll clearly see that the victim was holding the cup in his right hand. But how? Well, Mr. Kudo, the court is waiting for your epic performance. You said you'd eat those seeds and sing the pigeon song. Arrgh! Mr. Kudo, I'm afraid this is simply not acceptable. I think the witness had better go back to the park where... Wait! If you think I'm going to stand here and listen to you tell me I'm mad, you're wrong. I don't care about that dirty coffee cup. I know what I saw. Leon says, cool. You still insist on your testimony. That young brat was holding the cup in his left hand. Oh, yes, no question. I'm a good law-abiding citizen, I am. It's that dead young hotbot and you spiky-haired yahoo who are at fault. Who, me? Thank you, old man. We've heard quite enough from you already. Don't call me old man, old man! Been around for 68 years I have. You can't ignore me. Listen to what I've got to say! I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo, but... Sure, why not hear a little more? Mr. Godot! But this is my 16th cup of coffee, so this is your final stand. Thank you, Captain. You can rely on Victor. The boy's wearing that earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. He kept fiddling with it all the time. He was fiddling with it just before he picked up the cup, too. And then he used the same hand to pick up the cup, his left hand. We know that the victim was wearing an unusual monocle over his left eye. It wasn't a monocle, Your Honor. It was a small computer monitor often used by programmers. My dad doesn't wear one of those. What kind of futuristic gadget are we talking about here? A monitor? You mean like a television screen? The inside of... wrong voice. The inside of the lens is a screen that displays computer data. It's called an HMD. It's a common tool in the victim's line of work. HD, TV, DVD, CD, all these newfangled letters drive me mad, but they don't matter. I know what I saw, and I'm telling the truth. It's true, he doesn't seem to be lying. Neon points out, look at what Godot's wearing. True. What the hell is that Geordie LaForge looking visor even for? Is he blind and is that compensating for it? Is that compensating for him? Mom says he's a Cylon. Maybe he's secretly a Cylon. And those are the facts in good old black and white. And green. So the victim was wearing an HMD. HD, TV, CD, DVD, what does it matter? There's none of them actually, but anyway. And you're sure that he was wearing the earpiece on the same side? No question, I could only see that side of his head from where I was sitting. Yeah, that's pretty obvious if you look at the floor plans. From the opposite table, he'd only have a view of the side of the victim's head. He kept fiddling with it all the time.
Hold it!
Seems he kept an eye on Mr. Glenn Elg. He was getting on my nerves. Rustling that newspaper and fiddling with his earpiece all the time. And then he wanted to meet all that fuss dying from one sip of Javicino. I wanted to say to him, calm down, you young brat. He was dead. Just looking at him made me suddenly speed up my seed eating. I could have choked. So I take it the victim was a walking ball of nervous energy. Earpiece you mentioned. Which hand did the victim touch it with? You're one of those people, aren't you? You're the type that uses your left hand to get things out of your right pocket. Or fastens your left cuff with your right hand. And when the tour guide says on your right side you'll see the famous blah blah, you're the only one who deliberately looks left. Well, aren't you? No, I didn't mean... Obviously he used the hand on the same side of his body that the earpiece was in. Ow! 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 So if he had the HMD on his left side, then it was his left hand, I guess. And then he used the same hand to pick up the cup, his left hand.
Hold it!
You seem very sure of yourself, Mr. Kudo. That's because I know what I saw, no matter what tricks you try to play on me. It looks like he really did see the guy picking the cup. It looks like he really did see the guy picking the cup up with his left hand. This is a dead end. Well, Nick, what do you think? I think the guy's telling the truth, but even so, something's not quite right. Then check evidence at him until he breaks. If he's not lying, there wouldn't be any contradictions in his testimony, right? He's not lying, but that doesn't mean that he's, telling the truth. the relevance of this is, but... Mr. Kudo, there is something very strange about your observations of the victim. What? You say he was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the HMD. No question, you can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear without a doubt. I could only see that side of his head from where I was sitting. I don't think so. What did you say? You're no doubt unaware of this fact, Mr. Kudo, but the victim couldn't hear with his left ear. His eardrum was ruptured. Eh? Traces of medication for his condition were found in his ear canal. That's right, it's impossible that the victim was wearing his earpiece in his left ear, because he couldn't even hear in that ear. Is that true, Captain? It is. Pigeon! Pretty pigeon. Order. This witness's testimony is completely unreliable. He only saw the waitress from behind. And he claims the victim was wearing an earpiece when we know his eardrum was ruptured. Well, Mr. Godot? Arg. A single drop of milk is all it takes to destroy the pure black magic in the cup. This old man is my drop of milk. I don't like that imagery. Why'd you have to go with that imagery, Godot? Captain, are you calling me a drip? This is the victim's coffee cup in which the potassium cyanide was found. The mark on the rim clearly shows that the victim picked it up with his right hand. I'll never back down. I know I'm right. The lad drank his Javachino with his left hand. Let me put you out of your misery. Clearly, the victim used both hands. He took a sip with the cup he held in his right hand and then switched to his left. That's what the old man saw.
Objection!
Impossible! The witness has already testified on numerous occasions that the victim died immediately after taking just one sip of the coffee.
Objection!
Which hand the victim used to pick up his cup is irrelevant, Your Honor. The facts still stand. With one hand or the other, Mr. Elg drank the poisoned coffee like this.
Objection!
Sadly, Mr. Godot, that doesn't wash. The point of this testimony was to establish whether the witness's memory is credible. And the results are clear. The testimony given by this witness is useless. Blah! I believe it is time to conclude today's proceedings. I am satisfied that the witness is not deceiving the court, but to be frank, his testimony is a farce. Did you have to be so frank? Take that, you pompous old fogey. I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo, you can't reach me from there. I'm ordering the defense and the prosecution to investigate this case further. That is all for now. This court is adjourned. Wait! If we stop now, where does that leave me? Leave you, Mr. Kudo. Thanks to that blue-suited young upstart over there. I'm just a bumbling old man who can't even dot his T's or cross his I's now. How is your bad memory my fault? I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo, but there's nothing I can do. I've kept my mouth shut until now, but there's something else that the court should know. What? There's more? To be perfectly honest, it might not be anything. But I want another chance. I want another crack at you, you young shark. Me? It's looking at me like I'm some sort of evil shogun. Well, everyone, what do you say to one final showdown? The final chapter in this eccentric old man's scrapbook. I'm sorry, Gramps. I've already had my 17th cup of coffee. What have you got to lose, Captain? I'll give you all the Javachino you want if you come to my house after the trial. I may be 68 years old, but Victor Kudo is still a man. That's enough, witness. I believe it will be quicker for the court to just hear your testimony. You bet! Much, much quicker. I can't believe this is happening. Ha You better get ready, youngster. I get the picture. Just quit throwing those seeds at me, would you? It's gotta be using some sort of infinite ammo code with that box of seeds. Oh my god, he's hacked the universe. First of all, I want to stress that this might be... First of all, I want to stress that this might be nothing. I'm not too sure myself. The young boy slumped over the table as soon as he took one sip of his Javachino. Well, the clumsy idiot upset the vase. He knocked it right over. It broke and the strip of cloth covering the table got completely soaked. Well, how about that? Turn things upside down, Is that all? Yes, that's all. I remember it perfectly. Eh? You're down me again? You're down a poor, defenseless old man? No, we are not doubting you, Mr. Kudo. Don't you get the feeling there's a question hanging on everyone's lips, Nick? Yeah. So what, probably. That's all I can think of, and I have to cross-examine this guy. You're a bird brain. That's all you can think of. Very well. Mr. Wright, your final cross-examination, please. The court generally prefers if witnesses are sure of themselves, Mr. Kudo. Noisy brat! I'm warning you, I'm more savage than a macho man right now. You won't beat me with this testimony. This is the final battle. Ow! Ow! He's chucking those seeds harder than ever. I better be careful. Come on, Nick, nail him. I'd rather not nail him.
Hold it!
The court has already heard that testimony, Mr. Kudo. I know that. I was just setting the mood. How else am I supposed to build up the suspense, The suspense? Yes, now what do you think? Should I work the audience a bit more? No, please continue, Mr. Kudo, as quickly as possible. Alright, now where was I? Ah, yes, the young boy slumped over the table, and...
Hold it!
A vase, you say? Yes! There are vases on all the tables in that place. There are accidents waiting to happen. They're practically begging to be knocked over. Well, he's right about there being vases. I do remember seeing them, too. There was a vase on the table when I ate lunch there, and you saw the moment when the victim actually knocked over the vase. Well, it's hard to say. It's a bit unclear. How do you really define... Okay, I get it. I heard it break, and the sight of it is burned into my memory as clear as day.
Hold it!
Soaked in water, you mean? Yes, it splashed me on the knee as well. You said you were sitting at a table across the room from the victim, correct? And yet the water still managed to splash onto you? It was cold! I clearly remember it splashing me. Could the water really make it all the way across to the other side of the room?
Hold it!
You mean the vase on the victim's table falling upside down and breaking? The vase turned upside down, and my testimony's turning this case upside down. It's a joke. I just wanted everyone to hear it. What do you think, Captain? I'm impressed by your ability to waste time. Godot hasn't raised any objections for a while now. So yeah, show off with that scrap of information. I'm throwing down the gauntlet. If I lose this one, I'll take it like a man and admit defeat. He's really giving you the evil eye, Maya. It's you he's looking at, Nick, not me. It's like he's saying I triple dog dare you to find a contradiction, young'un. I guess I'll just have to rise to the challenge then. Yeah. That's a bit of a problem. Mr. Kudo, this is a photograph of the crime scene. So what? Look carefully at the table. The vase is there, intact. Huh? Lost your tongue, Granddad? I'm no granddad of yours, Hopscotch! Ow! Ow! Enough. If you throw any more seeds in this courtroom, the cleaners will be here all night. Ah! What is it now? I just remembered something. Yes? Go on. The broken vase! Haha, it was on my table. What? Ah, well, you see... It saw me when that young lad collapsed. So I stood up. That must have been when it fell over. The vase on my table, I mean. The vase on your table? Yes, it was on my table. And that's how my groin came to be completely soaked. At least Godot looks like he's having fun. Thank you, Mr. Kudo. You've certainly earned your kudos for today. I'd like to ask a question now. Have I been any use at all? Perhaps that's something you should reflect on yourself, Mr. Kudo. Yarg! Wait a minute. If that's the case, there's more. I've got more to say. Neon says, well, okie dokie then. Bailiff, escort the witness out of the courtroom. Wait, listen to me! Poor Kudo. Well, we seem to have been considerably sidetracked, and I am still not in a position to deliver a verdict. The defendant has not been positively identified as the waitress in question. Additionally, there are 2 disparities in the testimony we have heard thus far. The mark on the coffee cup that the victim supposedly drank from with his left hand, and the earpiece which was inserted into his left ear out of which he couldn't hear. Wow, Nick, you did it! I therefore require both the defense and the prosecution to further investigate the facts. Yes, Your Honor. There's one more thing before I can call today's session to an end. One more thing, Your Honor? The witness we just heard from. He is most insistent that his testimony should be of use, so he summarized it accordingly into this statement. Okay. You may each have a copy of it, Yep. You may each have a copy of it if you wish. Whatever. The prosecution doesn't need props like that. Godot's really mad, huh? Yeah, I would be too. Very well. Here you are then, Mr. Wright. There are 3 copies. My own, yours, and Mr. Godot's. Yes, Your Honor. When the incident occurred, I broke the vase at my seat. I'm sorry. I'm sorry? This isn't a piece of testimony. More like a 5-year-old's apology. What the heck are we supposed to do with 3 copies? Make sure we don't lose them. That is all. This court is adjourned. To be continued. Neon says the flowers are cute, at least. Yeah, the flowers are a cute little touch. So, how do you think the trial went this morning? How do you think it went? It got a bit crazy in there. I just wonder if that killed our chances. Yeah, I guess it did get out of hand. Mr. Kudo's testimony did nothing to help us. Plus, now we don't even know the identity of the waitress who laced the coffee. All we know is what old Mr. Kudo saw, the apron straps and the ribbon. And that the victim was wearing an earpiece when his eardrum was ruptured. Talk about a terrifying case of contradictionitis. Time to play doctor and find ourselves a cure then, huh? Yeah! We've got to find one for Maggie or she's gonna have a terminal case of guilty. Well, I'm officially at a loss as to where to start. Yeah, me too. Let's try some brainstorming. You go first. I guess we should try to put Mr. Kudo's testimony to some sort of use. Yeah, that's true. Now I need to figure out the identity of the waitress and who the victim really was. Somehow I think the key to this case has got to be at Tribulations. Well then, let's go back there and check it out again. Oh, and we should drop in on Maggie and see how she's doing too. So, anything on your mind? Actually, there is something. I was wondering about Sin Ehop. You know, like what he's up to and stuff. Oh, yeah, I almost forgot about that guy. I gotta beat you so hard it'll feel like you were smooching the express train. Phoenix Wright? You saying you, Phoenix Wright? Because I'm Phoenix Wright. The one and only. What the hell kind of accent is he supposed to have? Actually, I've heard a little something about my doppelganger. Oh, you did? What did you find out? Oh yeah, mine was working at the restaurant when I ran into Don Foniani. Let's just say he was such a terrible version of me that I wanted to sue for defamation. What's that guy's story anyway? What does he have to gain by impersonating me? Good question. Looks like Gumshoe's not here. Never mind that. What's going on? It feels different in here somehow. You think? Yeah, everyone seems to be on edge. What are you doing? Call in the officers for the briefing, quick! Can't you shut down the station server? Chief, quit playing on the internet! But my email, pen pal, Elite Asian Princess! Save it for later, I'm turning it off now! No, Elite Asian Princess! Everyone's keeping busy in here, huh? Keeping busy? More like panicking if you ask me. Something's going on, something big. This must be the chief of the detectives here. He looks lost now that the power to his computer has been cut. Oh well, I guess I'll just have to write her a real letter instead of an email. Alternately, you could write up some reports, just a suggestion. Neon is paying respects in the chat by pressing F. Dear Elite Asian Princess, how are you? I'm okay. How was the show last night? Wow, what an awesome job. Maybe I should send in my resume and become chief. That must be one of the detectives. He's mumbling something to himself. Even pickpockets can have their pockets picked. That's a keeper. Better to go with something that doesn't sound too much like a slogan. He must be coming up with slogans for a crime prevention campaign. But I'm not sure even he knows what kind of crime he's trying to prevent. These are the detectives' desks. There are computers and files on each one. Funny, they're a lot tighter than I expected. I guess the detectives don't spend a lot of time at their desks. Hey, that's the police mascot, isn't it? It's so cute. That's the blue badger. It was my idea, I made it, and now it's the national symbol of the police. So, what's with the pink one? It's new, right? She's not an it, Nick. She's a she, right, Chief? Yup. Meet the pink badger. So, one's called blue and the other's called pink, but they're both called badger? You got it. They're married. Aww. Mr. and Mrs. Badger seem to be cuffed together, Chief. You got it. That's marriage for you. That's a really cynical view of marriage, sir. Whoa, a mascot that's deeper than the deepest of deep oceans. A poster of a female police officer. Wait, no, that's the latest Babes in Uniform calendar, my bad. I guess Maggie's still in questioning. But we've got questions to ask her. But we've got questions to ask her too. Maggie! Maggie! Keep it down, Maya. This isn't a playground, you know. This guard monitors the visitor's room. There's nothing for him to do right now, so he's catching some vertical Z's. So he's asleep standing up. That takes some talent. Smile, you're on candid camera. empty, as usual. Yeah, and it's lunchtime, too. That's it. Come on, come on, come on. Hey, that sounds like... Now just call an 8, pal. Come on, I know you can. He's getting really worked up about something. No, that's the wrong number. Arg. Looks like an 8 would have only netted me $5 anyway. What a ripoff. What's the problem, Detective Gumshoe? Huh? Oh, it's you. I was just listening to the radio, pal. To the radio? Hey, Detective Gumshoe's having lunch here. He is, and he's having the twin tea set. What can I say? This is a nightmare. How am I supposed to look Maggie in the eye now, pal? You really drove her into a corner, you know. You always blow apart my testimony. Why, of all days, didn't you do it today? Sorry, there just weren't any holes in it for once. Yeah, what happened? Usually your testimonies are like Swiss cheese. Swiss cheese? What, you preferred crumbly like aged Parmesan? Anyway, this case has already been ruled on. There shouldn't be any holes left to find. So, did Maggie say anything to you? About me, I mean. Well, how did she put it again? I can't believe Detective Gumshoe. I hate him, sir. I mean it. I don't ever want to see him again. Something like that. Whoa. But please, Detective Gumshoe, I didn't mean... Why is this happening? He's banging his head against the wall, Nick. Oh man, poor Gumshoe. So, did you like the twin tea set? I've never paid that much money for lunch before. I was so nervous my hands were shaking. So, how did it taste? Well, for $20, I guess I don't know how to describe it, really. It was... delicate. Delicate? You mean you liked it? It didn't taste bad to you? What's the matter with him? Looks like he's thinking. That's it! I've been trying to think of the right word to describe the taste, and I just realized. It's bad, that's it. It tasted bad. Ugh. It's just kind of hard to admit it to yourself when you paid $20 for it, you know? Maybe you should have found out about the price after he had finished eating. Hey, Nick, maybe that's why Glen Elg came here. Maybe he heard about the super fierce twin tea set. If by fierce you mean fearsome, speaking of Glen Elg, that reminds me. I still hardly know anything about the guy. Well, we asked Detective Gumshoe what he knows, seeing as he's here. Well, first, let's see about the radio. So, what were you all excited about earlier? Oh? That's right, you said you were listening to the radio or something. Oh, that was nothing. I wasn't excited. Come on, Detective Gumshoe, you can tell little old me. What were you listening to? Nothing, really. It was just the, daily exercise show. What the? A cyclock? This lunch special's lobster sure is great. Then why are there tears in your eyes? First, let's... Neon says, Gumshoe, please. This guy was a real programming genius. They called him the walking computer at the place where he worked. What happens when he crashes, though? Does he just stop moving all of a sudden? He wasn't literally a computer, Maya. Anyway, there's nothing between Maggie and the victim. Yeah, that's what we found out yesterday, too. Hey, Detective Gumshoe, don't you have any information that's a bit more fun? Fun? Oh, I know. So, have you paid a visit to where Mr. Elg worked yet? You might as well. His workplace? Where's that? A computer firm called Blue Screens Inc. or something like that. Sounds like a real stable company. This could be fun, Nick. Let's go. Computers aren't really my thing, Maya. We'll be fine. I know all about that high-tech stuff. You're even worse with computers than I am. I wonder about that. It's just around the corner from this joint. You should take a look. A computer firm called Blue Screens Inc., huh? You know what that chef said to me? Oh la la, your body is full of lot toxins. And then he gave me this bottle. What's in it? Well, I don't know. The label says juniper. But I'll tell you what. This stuff works like a charm. I slept like a rock last night. Oh, really? That's nice. You know, in all my years, I've never seen a witness who was that confused before. Yeah, you looked pretty confused by his testimony. Nothing against old guys, I like them and all. But he sounded like he was pretty sure about what he saw. Yeah, that's the impression I got, too. Me three. But then, why doesn't even a single part of his testimony corroborate any of the facts? That is weird, isn't it? Very, very weird. I know I look a little rougher on the edges, but the truth is, I'm a lot more detective-like than I used to be. Really? Like what part? Like the color of my coat. Ah, you're right! Yeah, but what about what's inside the coat? Maggie's probably crying all alone right now, huh? Yeah, thanks to you. Arg, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. Maya, don't torch poor Gumshoe's feelings like they're cups of cheap creme brulee. You're really crazy about Maggie, aren't you? No, I'm not. It's not that I... You don't have to hide it, Gumshoe. It's pretty obvious. Yeah, you're way too plain looking for Maggie, right? I'd arrest you right now if you weren't so right. Mr. Godot agreed to take this case just so he could face you, pal. He was working on a bunch of more important cases, but he canceled them all. Huh? But then, why did Mr. Godot take this case when Maggie's first trial came up? Yeah, that is kind of odd. I mean, everyone thought the defense was Phoenix Wright. So why didn't he try to fight me then? Well, according to Mr. Godot, he knew the guy was a phony right away, so he didn't want to bother with the trial. He couldn't be bothered to tell the judge. She cross-examined me once, you know. What? You did? Yeah, that was us. The big guns locking horns. Witness versus lawyer. It was a battle of cunning tactics and tricks. Well, the witness isn't supposed to play any tricks. I can't believe she's gone. You're looking upbeat as usual. And you're looking tired as usual, Detective Gumshoe. Yeah, that's life, huh? One guy's got it all, and one guy's got squat. Is it just me, or did the room get darker all of a sudden? You know, Detective, this is the year of the, gum. It is? Yeah, I think. Gum, huh? This is gonna be a great year for this old Gumshoe then, right? Look at that, he perked up in no time. Maya, don't mess with him like that. She's just trying to help. Let's go see what these nerds are up to. Wow, this place is so high-tech. You can almost smell the electricity in the air. It is a computer firm, Maya. They can't work without electricity, you know. Who are you? Hello. I'm sorry. Access is restricted to authorized personnel only. This is a computer programming laboratory. There are far too many trade secrets that could be leaked. Wow, what secrets? Everything you see here is classified. No information can leave this building. Understood. Who is this woman? She's like a robot from some kind of whacked educational show. My name is Lisa Basil. I'm the company director. Director? She's human? She seems more like a ghost in a shell. And nothing over her eye. Isn't that the same device as Glenn Elg's? That's a DMH, right? Nice try, but it's the other way around, Maya. It's an HMD. All of my programmers here at Blue Screens Inc. are supplied with HMDs. Then do you write programs too? No, I just enjoy wearing this. They are pretty cool. I wouldn't mind one. Examine. Whoa, Whoa, look at this desk, Nick. What a mess. Looks pretty average to me. But you can't get any work done with everything all over the place like this. You think? Real whiz kids can work under any condition, you know. She's trying to hint that I should tidy my desk more. I'll clean up my desk when Maya stops asking silly questions. No hurry, then. Hey, this calendar. What about it? If this is another hint about tidying, you can forget it. Someone's marked December 3rd in red pen. December 3rd? That's the day Mr. Elg was murdered. Is there anything else? Yeah, it says meet with the tiger. The tiger? Glenn's calendar added to the court record. He's really pounding that keyboard, isn't he? Wow, I bet that's where the pro and programmer comes from, huh? I guess I shouldn't be resting on my laurels. Gotta expand my skill set and all that. Yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe I could become old CD's apprentice. And what about your spirit medium training? Hey, look, Nick, it's a supercomputer. It looks like it's really smart and wise, doesn't it? Computers are only as smart as the humans who use them, Maya. And they're only as smart as the programmers who program them, too. And even then, they tend to end up kind of dumb. Well, dumb is relative. They don't think like humans. That explains why we don't use the computer in our office. You work there too, Maya. Yeah, but at least Please, don't argue about something that's so trivial. Otherwise, the computer will laugh at you. She said she'd laugh at us, Nick. She's a human, Maya, not a computer. Those pillars almost look like they're moving. It's kind of unsettling. Nah, they just look a bit twisted or warped or whatever word I'm looking for. This office was designed with a futuristic feel in mind. Futuristic? Yes, we tried to imagine what things might look like in the future when we designed it. It helps to soothe and calm the soul. On second thought, I agree with you, Nick. This place is really unsettling. This is not a future I want to put any part of. And this place has the same theme going on as Dr. Hadi's clinic. So, what exactly is this firm's business? I will try to simplify it so that you can understand. We analyze the data management systems required by certain branches of industry, and then deliver optimum operating systems and source-level components to them. Huh? You lost me on the corner of analyze and management. It doesn't matter, they analyze stuff, you got that much, right? The software we produce is distributed on CDs. Okay, these games are supposed to take place around like 2016, and by 2016, CDs were a pretty damn were like a couple generations obsolete. CDs? Yes, compact disc, digital optical compact disc, digital optical storage media. Of course, CDs are used for software as well as music. It is a small firm, but all of my employees are first-class programmers. Let's ask one of them what they are doing. Excuse me, what are you working on right now? I'm researching the impact of time slicing. Obviously, program structure heavily influences response time and performance, so the co-independence of memory overheads is vitally important. Well, you get the idea. This is the sort of thing we are involved in. Did you good people follow all of that? I was trying to read along and could not. Yeah? Your blank smile just said otherwise, Maya. You know about what happened, right, Miss Basil? You mean about Glenn being poisoned? Yes, I know, it's terrible. Can you tell us anything that might be helpful? I don't think so. A police officer was here earlier, too. But I couldn't tell him anything either because the waitress who committed the crime has nothing to do with Blue Screen C. Oh. How about Mr. Elg's desk? Have you cleared it out already? No, not yet. It's this one right in front of you. If there's anything that might be useful to you, you are welcome to take it. I guess there might be a clue here somewhere. Would you mind taking a look at this? I'm sorry, that data is super admin restricted desktop access password protected. Super admin restricted desktop access password protected? What? This is madness. No, Maya, that is Sparta. She won't tell us unless we say the right code word. A code word? Sesame! If it's not Sesame, then it must be our mother's maiden name. That's what it always is. There's no point in having a password if it's always the same thing, Maya. I guess she just doesn't want to talk about this. Maybe we should focus on asking about Glen Elk. What do you say? About Mr. Elk. He was a top programmer. I would even say he was a genius. But he did suffer from one or two bugs in his personality. Oh, like what? He was a bit of a loser. Perhaps that would be the best way to describe it. That's what got him into trouble. What's the matter? He was a top programmer, I would even say. About him being in trouble. We've got to find out what this trouble was exactly. About Mr. Elk. Was he in some kind of trouble? I'm sorry? Why would you think that? I thought you said something about it just now. You said he got himself into trouble because he was a bit of a loser. 3 Cyclops. I guess Mr. Elk is like every other man with his own pile of secrets.
Take that!
Doubt I have what I need, but must. Can't hurt. So, how about you tell me what kind of trouble Mr. Elk was in? I'm sorry, sir, but we don't deal with troubleshooting here. Perhaps you'd like to speak to someone in customer service. What's she talking about? I guess I'd better just take a shot and see where it gets me. Miss Basil, let me ask you something. Did Mr. Elk's troubles have something to do with this?
Take that!
You can't hurt. What is that? A lottery ticket. There were a ton of these on the victim's table at the scene of the crime. And what is the relevance of that? The victim, Mr. Glen Elk, had a gambling habit, didn't he? I don't think that's a logical conclusion based on the facts. Everyone dreams of being rich. Even I listen to Millionaire Radio. She's right, that is a bit weak on its own. But Mr. Elk's gambling wasn't restricted to the lottery, was it?
Take that!
Huh? Mr. Armstrong's talking to someone. I'll be back next month. Oui, naturellement. I will be waiting for you. If you haven't got it by then, I'm afraid it might get a little hot around here. No, I will have everything ready, I promise. I love fire, you know. I love the way it crackles. No, stop it, I beg you. Then don't let me down. I'll be watching you. Mais no, this is not necessary. You can trust me, mademoiselle. Talk to anyone, and I'll drive a knife right through your heart. Oh no, you do not have to worry. You know you worry far too much. Maybe this will help you relax. It is the oil of sand. It is l'huile de santal. I do love raw meat from time to time. I'll be taking my leave. Goodbye. For now. I have le cheveux. I must rub some of my oil all over my body before I become the nervous wreck. There. Oh, oui, that feels good. Ugh. Oh la la, excusez-moi, monsieur. My eyes. Your eyes? If you have trouble with your eyes, you need this. L'huile de santal. Neon says she's precious. I love her. Yeah, I gotta like her too. Isn't this just the leftovers of what you were just using? You don't exactly have many customers, do you, Mr. Armstrong? No, you are right, monsieur. But perhaps that is le parfait temps for you to visit me, no? That way I can give you my undivided attention and cook for you. I believe Supreme is right. And cook for you le plat supreme. I can't pronounce it right. Le plat supreme. Putting on a brave face, huh? And that's what girls do, Nick. But you are right. Business is very difficult these days. Perhaps the name is le problème. People do not understand it. They think it is tray. I just wanted people to think that my restaurant was exclusive. But they think you just serve fast food on cheap plastic trays. Nick, that's the kind of thing that can make a girl cry. Have you forgotten that Mr. Armstrong is a man, Maya? But this restaurant is my life. It is everything to me. I will defend it to la finale. No one will take it from me. So, who was that woman you were just talking to? Oh la la, you saw that? Well, yes, sorry. So, who was she? She looked so polite and graceful. Polite? Graceful? And she likes raw meat and fires, right? Now that I think about it, hey, Maya, I think it's pretty clear what kind of conversation that we're having. You think so? Well, then let's show him that piece of evidence and see what happens. So long as that papier exists, I am but a delightful angel with what is wings again? It's on the tip of my tongue. Les ailes cassées. An angel, huh? Doesn't bode well when you think about it. Oui, they kept harassing me months after months. In the end, I had to give in. I had to help them. Help them with what? Maybe unsure if I did not owe them the money. His money. I should know that word. I feel dumb not knowing that. L'argent. If I did not owe them l'argent, I would have refused. But my hands were tied. Please, what did you agree to help them with? No, I cannot say. If I tell you that woman, she will slice me up and eat me with this salad garnish. And eat me. And for once, it's actually feminine. And eat me with la garniture de salade. Ew. I hope he doesn't mean that it'll literally be sliced up and served with garnish. I'm gonna guess that woman has something to do with her loan contract. Am I right? Please, Mr. Armstrong, tell us about that woman. The woman who was here earlier, I take it that she's, why, as it comes to this, what a tragedy. Suddenly, I find myself so deep in la debt. Oh, that is actually how it is. I find myself so deep in la debt. It is a sign of la mauvais monde we live in. Huh? No, I'd say it's more of a sign of la bad culinary skills. The woman who was the femme who is here. The scary woman. She is from la loan office. Neon says, we'd say we'd protect you, but Phoenix is kind of wimpy. Phoenix may be wimpy, but Maya's pretty tough. She'd probably deck this poor girl. Actually, honestly, in a fight between Maya and this girl, I feel like Maya would win. She's a scrappy girl. She's from the loan office? She is from Le Bureau de Pret. Loan office? Is that where you borrowed $500,000 from? Oui, tender lender it is called. Catchy name. Catchy name. Just hearing it makes me want to borrow some money. Please, you must not borrow from them. If you must, no more than $10. $10? Sounds like your whole monthly stipend, Maya. Hey, I get a bit more than that, thank you very much. And Neon agrees with me that Maya would clean this poor girl's clock. So, tender lender is the loan office you borrowed $500,000 from, huh? I wonder if they've got anything to do with this case. I am a weak woman. When I am upset, I have to buy something nice to cheer me up. Thanks to him loaning me l'argent, I have to pay back $500,000 now. I am like his slave. I have to do everything that he tells me. Who's this he? Latigra, I think. Yeah, Latigra. The tiger? He is the manager of the tender lender, a terrifying man. Le Preteur de la Grande Ville. When he shouts at me, my knees are trembling and his voice is ringing in my ears for 3 days. As soon as I hear the noise of that battered old scooter he rides, I start to cry. A big city mobster who rides a battered old scooter. Does this guy resemble me by any chance? Oh, no. This man has a presence, a most formidable personality. Although he does have the spiky air, just like you. Actually, what is spiky hair? Oui, it does have les cheveux hérissés, just like you. Oui, there is a resemblance there, I suppose. Sounds like this loan office is worth checking out after all. If you want to visit the tender lender, it is just beyond Vitamin Square. Hey, Nick. If you need money, I can loan you some, as long as it's less than $3. Thanks for the offer. Just beyond Vitamin Square, huh? I don't see any sign of Mr. Kudo, do you? Maybe he went to buy another ton of bird seeds. I was kind of hoping he wouldn't be here anyway, at least not for now. Besides, any more seeds today and I'm liable to turn into a real phoenix. I'm not sure that's how it works, Phoenix. Hey, check this out. I wouldn't get too close to that if I were you, otherwise you might be in for a shock. My phony must be lurking someplace nearby. Just imagine a tiger loose in the city. Meanwhile, the real Phoenix is like an abandoned chick lost in a vast urban jungle. Huh? Don't worry, someday you'll grow up and become a ferocious tiger too. Don't lose hope. Why is she trying to pep talk me into becoming my phony? This place is so fruity. That's not a bad thing. Besides, I love apples. They're among my favorites. Then that apple slide is perfect for you. And what is so perfect about it? Oh, come on. Don't be a stick in the mud. Slide down it a few times. Go on. Woo! No way! I'd get covered in sand if I slid down that slide. Anyone can see that. Yeah, you're right. Otherwise, I'd give it a try, too. Hey, look! Pigeons! Yeah, and heaps of them, too. Did you know that pigeons are a symbol of peace? That's a dove, not a pigeon. But I think pigeons and doves are related, though. Poor things. So they can't be symbols of peace and harmony just because they're gray? Is that it? You're overthinking this one by just a smidge, Maya. I used to love sandboxes like you would not believe. Really? You? Sure, finding iron filings in the sand with a magnet was my favorite thing to do. Iron filings? Wow, that's too exciting for words. It was my ambition to collect every single shred of iron in the sandbox. I was such a kid back then. So, did you manage to get all the iron? Nah, I never did. I think I came close, though. Come to think of it, I still have all the iron filings I found way back when. You want them? No. Looking at this orange reminds me of what? That you're supposed to eat a lot of them to ward off colds in the winter. You can't have fun during the holidays if you're sick in bed, you know. Speaking of fun, if we get Maggie acquitted, maybe we can all get together sometime. Okay, but what do we play with someone who's never even won a game of tic-tac-toe? How about we change the rules a bit then? We could play Old Maid and, we can say the person who's left with the Old Maid at the end is the winner. How's that? Not bad at all. We can even rename the game to Fair Maiden. That's actually kind of a sweet idea. On the other hand, I kind of feel like that would then backfire with her not getting the Old Maid. This place gives off a really strange vibe, doesn't it? Looks like the tiger isn't in his lair. And that is, as they say, a very good thing. Welcome. Gulp. Talk about a creepy voice. It makes your soul want to shrivel up and die. You're here. You're here to discuss a loan? Neon says, just change the rules based on what she has, then. Yeah, that sounds like a much better strategy. No, not exactly. The manager is away at the moment. Wait quietly, please. she's gone, just like that. I guess we'll just have to come back another time. But this is the perfect opportunity, Nick. This place reeks of suspicion. Come on, Nick, let's take a look around, okay? Do you think it'd be okay? Of course, no one will ever know. Coffee? Ah! I'll leave it here for you to enjoy, quietly. Yes, thank you. Do not touch the desk, please. Nick, let's get out of here. Now she wants to get out of here. Let's see, this round doll thing is called a Daruma, I think. I figured I'd read a book or two and be more cultured in case you're wondering. You mean you aren't making stuff up for a change? Heh, I bet you also didn't know that no matter what, he'll always rate himself. Go on, Nick, give him a good shove. Only if I feel like dying. Now, this yellow thing, this is a Japanese chess piece. I think it's a king? Not that I'm an expert or anything. I'm more of a reversey person, you know? Assuming she knows what she's talking about. These aren't exactly your typical mobster wannabe items. They're not trophies, are they? Gulp. Hey, there's a piece of paper sticking out from under here. What is it? A repair bill? Looks like he did some repair work on his car. Does he even have one? $15,000 to replace a bumper and a light? That's insane. The car is registered to the Cadaverinis? Huh? So it's not even the Tiger's car? Why would someone else's repair bill be in the Tiger's office? Win through compromise. I wonder what that's supposed to mean. It must mean something if they took the trouble to frame it like that. Yeah, well, it still doesn't make any sense to me. That... Ah! That's Tenderlunder's guiding principle. Oh? Compromise the customer to win. Oh, I see. How about you, Nick? Yeah, well, as long as we don't have to compromise my hair, I'd say we're okay. That's one slogan no business owner should ever explain to their customers. Shudder. Hey, look at this Parisian-style coat. It's so chic. Looks more like a pimp coat to me. Guess I haven't got an eye for fashion. Hey, look at this. This suit is the same color as the one you wear, Nick. The same color as my suit. Ah! Keep your voice down, Maya. Nick, you've got to take a look at this. Some cake. Ah! I'll just leave it here for you. Yeah, sure, thanks. Just wait here quietly, otherwise... Sure! Did you hear that, Nick? Wait quietly, she said. Yeah, sure. I have my eye on you, only so I can take care of you. Understand? Yeah, I'm scared, Nick. So? What were you getting so excited about before? Look, on the lapel of this suit. That's an attorney's badge. Is the tiger a lawyer? No way, look at this thing. It's made of paper. For some reason, your badge suddenly looks really cheap to me, Nick. Why doesn't anyone recognize an obviously fake badge when they see one? What's this? It's a punching bag. What? No way! You can catch me walking around with a bag like that. What do you mean walking around? The design's gross to start with, and it's way too heavy to be practical. And why is it called a punching bag? Don't people know messenger bags are in? I knew it. I was right before back at Tribulations. Paris fashion is more my thing. I really, really hope she's pulling my chain on this one. Oh no, someone's dropped the ashtray on the floor. That's gonna be a nightmare to clean up. Yeah, it's all over the rug and everything. I accidentally knocked over a really big space heater once. Cleaning up was such a pain. It was one of those super antiques where you have to burn a ton of charcoal. How did she manage to knock one of those over? Aren't they supposed to be super heavy? Hey! There's a book of matches here, too. Matches, huh? Places don't give those out much nowadays. Hey, wait a second. What is it? What was printed on its cover? It says Tribulations. These matches could come in handy. We might be able to use them. Yeah! The pilot light for the office boiler keeps going out. Swing and a miss, Maya. Swing and a miss. Okay, time to poke at that desk. There's a CD player on the desk, but the desk is so loud, it's a wonder you can hear it. The lid's open. I wonder what kind of music the tiger's into. Have you finished the coffee? Ah! Yes, thanks. It was lovely. So, you drank it all? Gulp. If you touch anything else that doesn't belong to you, there's always another cup. That coffee, it was laced with something, I'm almost sure of it. Nick, my stomach is killing me. Oh, wait, maybe it was just the burger I ate for breakfast. I sure hope so. You better take a look at that CD while we're still alive and have the chance. What the? What? It's not the Rocco soundtrack, is it? Claw of the Tiger? It's a demo CD. The artist's name has been handwritten on the disc in pen. MC Bomber. What? This must be the CD Maggie told us about. Let's listen to it. I bet it's heavy metal. No way. That woman will make us drink more coffee if we do. And the tiger's back. Ah! Come out from under the desk, Maya. What are you two snooping around my office for? Nothing. We were just... Roar! My precious carpet! You've got ash on my rug. You gonna wash your ugly feet never... You gonna wish your ugly feet never came through my door. Arr! Yous wanna argue with me? Is that what you doing? You think yous can take me on? I'm gonna flatten yous two into pancakes and turn yous into my new rugs. Ah! Oh. Don Tigre, you're back. Ack, that voice. It's like evil seeping into your head through your ears. I'm sorry, Don Tigre. I knocked over that ashtray earlier and... Eek! Has she got a death wish or what? Oh, right. Huh? Forget about it, Violetta. It's nothing. What? I ain't gonna get mad at you. You're too cute, you hear? That's so unfair. Here, have some cookies. I just baked them. And you'll need some strong espresso while you're discussing your loan. Roar! Phoenix Wright! Yes? You's either crazy or just plain stupid to chase after me. I worked so hard, but now you's gotta come and mess up my plan. So it was him. He's my phony. Heh, but I don't care. No one gets in my way. What? I mean, excuse me? You should have left a little girl at home, right? I have a few things I want to add. Roar! Ah! No questions. This is the last time we meet. Wait, please. That was pretty weak, Nick. You waited until he was out of earshot before you shouted after him. Like you're one to talk. I didn't hear you scream hold it either. The espresso. Ah! And cookies. This woman is definitely not good for my heart. Now, what was it the tiger called her? Violetta? Neon likes Mr. Tiger's shirt. He does have a really neat shirt. It looks like a tiger taking a chomp out of a dragon, which is, interesting on a lot of levels. So, I'm kind of curious curious about your company, tender lender. With the warm and friendly atmosphere you'd expect from a family-sized business. Why can I not pronounce this word? A conscientious rate of interest and an attractive repayment policy. Why do I get the feeling this sentence is not going to end well? We will tenderly lend you that little bit extra here at Tender Lender. Hey Nick, things are a bit tight for Wright & Co. at the moment, aren't they? I mean, there's that $500 you owe me from our card game for starters. Why don't you take out a loan? Would I like to take out a loan from a place like this? Not so much. Tender Lender is on your side. So, let's say I'm late with my repayment. What happens then? We'd give you more coffee. Strong coffee. Right. I think I'd rather skip town. Hey, just remember I can make strong coffee too, Nick. Strong tea as well. I don't think either of us want to have any of Violetta's strong coffee, though. So, do you know about the incident we're investigating? What incident? Well, a man was poisoned in a restaurant just near here. That incident. Let me see. I was here that day with the manager. The manager being the tiger? Furio Tigre. Furio Tigre? So that's where the tiger thing comes from. Sin Eob's got a real name! Nick, hurry up and find out more about him! I'm curious. I can't ask her about herself, damn it. Can I ask you about the tiger? I mean, Mr. Tigre? Cookie? Sure? How do you like my cookies? I baked them myself. Go ahead, Nick. The honor is all yours. No, ladies first, Maya. No matter how I look at this, I just don't get it. What are the tiger and the scary girl doing working together? We are lovers. That's not exactly coming across in your tone of voice. And I own Don Tigre in my life. He's the one who saved me. The tiger saved you? Please address him properly as Don Tigre. Otherwise, I'll have to... Okay, Don Tigre, of course. I'm sorry. He saved her life. I'd sure like to know how that happened. I'm very frail, you see. Just recently, I died once. You died? About 4 months ago. The doctor said to abandon all hope. I guess they were expecting her to take a boat ride across the river Styx. But Don Tigre, he saved me. He gave up everything. Everything? When I found out what he had done for me, I was happy. No offense, but I'm finding that a little hard to believe. I decided I'd pay him back with my life by serving him coffee and espresso. I still wonder about what's in her coffee. So, is that why you've got that bandage around your head? This? So what's the story with the bandage? And I put it on after the operation. Operation? It's just a little injury. A little fatal injury. Fatal injury? Maya just suffered one herself by the sound of it. So that's the injury you were talking about before when you said you had died once? Urgh, she really creeps me out, Nick. Same here, but we've got to find out the truth. I definitely don't have the evidence for this. Ooh. old Seedy's back feeding the pigeons again. There, take this, and get out of my park. Like I thought, he's really mad. Come on, Maya, just keep your head down and let's sneak away while we still can. What? Why? Hello, old man? What are you doing, Maya? Huh? Ka! Hey, he just turned his back on us. I'm not surprised. I bet I really hurt his pride in court this morning. Hey, Mr. Kudo! Pigeon, ka. Look, we really need to talk to you, alright? Out with the demons! In with good fortune! Ow! 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 Seeds! Shell splinters! Painful! I always knew you were a demon, Maya. I'm sorry about what happened in court earlier today. Ka! Everyone will be talking about me behind my back now. A dirty old man who was so busy looking at the serving girl's backside that he can't remember her face. A filthy, depraved animal. Not at all. Are you listening to me, boy? I don't care what you say. I say that I saw that waitress put it in. She put some white powder into the young lad's Javachino. We hear you. And another thing, the young layabout was wearing an earpiece on the same side as the lens of his broken spectacles. We're really sorry. So I made a little mistake about the vase. So what? I know what I saw. I tell you. Okay, take it easy, please, Mr. Kudo. Don't tell me to take it easy, you spiky-haired brat. Take this. You said you were a craftsman, right? Ka, the modern world casts honest craftsmen like me aside in droves. Surely it's not that. I come from a long line of craftsmen, right back to the time of the shoguns. You hear me? I didn't become an embroiderer, I was born one. Actually, I'm kind of in the same situation myself. I wanted to stick my fingers up that dribbling old judge's nose and scream right down his ear hole. Objection! Oh, so did you want to become a lawyer when you were young? I don't think that's quite it, Maya. I think he's just in a bad mood, that's all. I've got a tsunami of frustration inside and it's ready to burst out. If we let him start rambling now, we might never shut him up. What should I do? Actually, we've got places to go, things to check and stuff. Maybe another time? Fine, whatever. Just don't forget. I've got a tsunami's worth of grumbling to do. Yes. This girl right here is really looking forward to hearing it all, honest. What? I never said that. Come to the place where I work then. Here, bring this along with you. What is this? It's covered in seeds. Discount coupon for a burger? You really want someone to grumble at, huh? Although it is a burger joint. Félicitations, mais qu'est-ce que c'est? Ack, je ne comprends. Nick, don't just make something up. He was close, though. you putting this up for sale, pal? No. Why? Would you want a busted up screw like this anyway? Yeah, plus the seat's all covered in pigeon poop. Who cares? If it runs, that's all that matters to me. My phony was riding this bike. Maybe if I head back to the park, it'll be there again. Well, it turned out it was. What is it? Is this your scooter? No, I saw it before in Vitamin Square, you see. Mon Dieu, no. Take it away, do not show that to me. Talk about an allergic reaction. Guess I better let him talk. So, there's not much call for craftsmen these days, then? Of course not, you idiot! All I'm good for nowadays is running errands. Errands? Everyone takes advantage of the elderly. Buy some bread, Gramps. Take the dog for a walk, Granddad. Feed the pigeons, old man. What am I, some sort of 2-bit community handyman? Well... Buy some bread, now that I can understand. But what's the point of feeding some seedy pigeons? I want people to say what they mean. Get lost, that's what they're trying to say. Oh yes, I'm just an inconvenience, sissy. At home, at that restaurant, I just get in the way, don't I? I'm sure you don't. Wait a minute, what did he just say? At home and at that restaurant. Hold up, by restaurant, are you talking about Tribulations? Did you get asked to run an errand there too? Yes, I did, the very day that young Brad was poisoned. What? This seems more important than the vase. So on the day of the incident, what were you asked to do? Glad you asked, boy, because I'll tell you what I was asked to do. All of a sudden, that young lad slumped over the table. The servant girl collapsed. And I broke that vase. It all happened so fast I was in a bit of a daze, you see. Then the owner shouted over to me. Excusez-moi, you call the police. Call them yourself, I should have said back, but I didn't think of it at the time. So, did you end up calling the police? Like I said, I was in a bit of a daze. Did you call them on your cell phone? Cat, do I look like I'd have one of those newfangled thingamajigs? I went out looking for a payphone, of course. You went looking for one? I couldn't find one right away, you know. Wandered around for 5 minutes or so. For 5 minutes? So for 5 minutes after the incident happened. Yes, sirree, the owner was at Tribulations on his own. Why didn't you mention this in court this morning? Well, I would have if you'd given me the chance. But you all bullied me out of the courtroom. It's not my fault. You're the ones to blame. You could have at least told us before we got to court. Is it really that important that Mr. Kudo was the one who called the police? What's important is the unaccounted time before the police arrived. The victim was dead. and Maggie was unconscious. Which leaves that man, alone in the restaurant. Mr. Kudo might have been chased out of the place on purpose. What do you mean? Maybe a certain someone didn't want him in the restaurant. Ah! Oh, sure, you go ahead and say I was in the way as usual. I suppose I should have been getting myself covered in pigeon poop instead, You need to get more details about what exactly happened. From Maggie and from Mr. Armstrong. Looks like Mr. Armstrong's out again. Well, the place is open for business. You can't have an open restaurant without a chef. Hey, it's not my fault, Nick. Don't take it out on me. Only a couple of minutes after the incident happened, Mr. Kudo left the scene, leaving Mr. Armstrong here alone. Missing when we need to talk to him the most. Maybe he's trying to avoid us on purpose? You got anything to say about this? No. Right. You still we mentioned Tiger and Ghost Girl to come shoot. I don't know if we have. I think we might have, but it's worth a shot. Yeah, no, he's got nothing to say about them. Let's see if she has anything to say about them. She doesn't have anything to say about him, but... her? Nope. safe for yourself? No. Okay, I can actually get his psych lock. Okay.
Take that!
Ah, okay. It was an alternate way of getting the coordinates, but I can use the boost. Alright, Detective Gumshoe, tell me the truth. What were you listening to? No way, pal. Not now that you've made a big thing out of it. I'm not gonna tell you.
Take that!
I've kind of got a favor to ask. It's a big one. A favor? Yeah, it's for, Maggie, actually. Now, I was kind of hoping you'd give this to her for me. What is it? It's a lunchbox. I got up early so I could make it. I've been real worried about her. She looked like she'd lost a lot of weight. Detective Gumshoe. How many weenies are in here? There's not a person on Earth who could down this much meat. You think? I love weenies. I can't get enough of their tender juiciness. So, will you give it to her? It took me ages to make, so please say you will, pal. You can't exactly say no, can I? I'm not touching the comment about weenies. I am not touching that comment. Maybe I'll eat it myself if I get hungry. Don't forget, okay? I'm counting on you to give that to Maggie. He's finally gone. Well, let's see if Maggie is in. Oh, Mr. Wright! Hello, Maggie. So they finished questioning you? Wasn't it just unbelievable in court today, sir? I'm going to stay up all night and blog about everything that happened. Weren't you scared? It was pretty touch and go in there. Yeah, but you totally nailed that old man. Well, he was all over the place with his testimony. He's not the only one. Huh? What do you mean? Everyone else's testimonies don't match up either. Not with what I remember of the incident, anyway. Is it possible she's the one misremembering things? Maggie, you know how you said that everyone else provided testimony that doesn't match up with what you remember? Yep, there are just so many things that don't seem to add up. The biggest contradiction is the other guy I saw at the victim's table. He was the one who slipped something into the victim's coffee. I'm sure it was him. But didn't Mr. Kudo testify earlier today that it was the waitress who put some white powder into the coffee cup? So you really think it was this disappearing man that did it? Well, he's not the only thing that disappeared. The CD vanished as well. You know, the CD with the writing on it. Oh yeah, the MC Screwdriver album, right? It was MC Bomber, Maya. That name was scrawled on the sports paper as well. They never did find that CD at the crime scene, sir. Or the victim's medication. That's gone missing too. Ouch, my head. This is getting way too complicated for me. You said that you passed out when the victim, Glenn L., collapsed, right? Yes, it's so embarrassing. I mean, I used to be a cop. When I came to, the restaurant was buzzing with police. And before I knew what was going on, they arrested me, sir. So between the time the victim collapsed and the time the police arrived on the scene, you have no idea what went on at Tribulations. No idea at all. Why? Is it important, Mr. Wright? The other witness, the old man from the park, was pretty much chased out of the picture. Chased out of the picture? What do you mean? Old CD wasn't inside the restaurant because he was told to go call the police. Exactly, and you, Maggie, were unconscious. That means Mr. Armstrong was alone in the restaurant for a brief period of time. No! You don't think Mr. Armstrong set me up, do you? When you consider the facts, it's hard to imagine that Mr. Armstrong isn't involved in this at all. Ugh. It's like the master biting the paw of the dog that it feeds. Are you sure about this, Mr. Wright? Well, the old man said as much when we spoke with him earlier. I don't know, the things that man says don't add up for some reason, sir. Maggie looks like she's trying to figure something out. Maybe you should ask Maggie exactly what she knows about old CD. That sounds like a hint. I feel much better after the trial this morning. I've been a bit of a courtroom proceedings addict for years now. It feels like forever since I saw a witness as slippery as that old man. He's not really that bad of an old man, though. Still, I feel a bit uneasy. Huh? I thought you just said you felt much better. Maggie, if there's something on your mind, you've got to tell us. Especially if it has anything to do with Mr. Kudo or his testimony. Roger, I'll spill it all and see what you make of it. Is there anything about Mr. Kudo's testimony that stood out as odd to you? Actually, yes. The fact that he was even testifying to begin with doesn't quite what? Well, when I took the coffee over to the victim's table, it's true there was another customer in the restaurant. Yeah, we know that already. It was Victor Kudo. But I can't really say he was an old man. Okay, then how about calling him a really old middle-aged man? No, age isn't the issue. The other customer was a woman. A woman? Are you sure, Maggie? Well, I'm not 100% sure, but I think so. So, what did this woman look like? She was sort of creepy, and she had a kind of cackling laugh. Creepy? Cackling? Why do I get the feeling I've come across a woman like that recently? Ah, come on. Holy smokes, that's him! Huh? That's your phony, Mr. Wright. Just look at that ridiculous suntan. For the record, I'm not sunburned like an over-dried tomato, so I don't know how... He told me he'd been on a business trip to Hawaii, and that's where he got the tan. I'm not hearing this. Ah, that's the victim, isn't it? That day was the first time you'd ever seen this man, right? Yes, I'd never met or seen him before then. I just happened to be the waitress who served him his coffee, sir, that's all. It seems like he was a computer programmer. Really? I'm useless with computers, completely hopeless. I don't know any computer programs. Does she mean programmers? Ah, right. That's what I wanted to give her. But I think... it's 10 o'clock, so let's call it for the night, and next week we'll give her the homemade lunchbox from Gumshoe. Thank you very much for coming, and hope you have a good evening.